Tips for young DJs would be patience, probably. Play the long game, don't rush into anything, and don't feel like you're having to do everything all at once. A bit of a veteran now in this scene, I guess, having touring for kind of nearly 20 years, I would say that patience is the key, you know, and have a kind of, it's not always easy because sometimes people pop off really, really quickly and things happen overnight, it almost seems. But just try and ride that wave consistently rather than too many spikes, because, you know, gradually walking up a hill is a lot more successful than, you know, jumping straight to the top and then falling back down the other side. You know? But they say, don't they, that anything that's an overnight success probably isn't an overnight success. It's been building up to that point, you know. But yeah, you've just got to be patient, which is hard because it feels like, especially with social media and people's attention spans, that everything is so reactive. Of if you don't catch people in 3 or 4 seconds, they've gone, you know. But yeah, I think overall patience is key with this. This industry.
I want y'all to think about something for a second. DJing is truly an act from God, right? We take our 2 hands and our imagination and we shift the vibe in the room. We create energy, and we're also making memories memorable for all the attenders in the party. That's something that should be held sacred. DJing is an act of selflessness. It's not always about how we feel, even though we have preferences, but it's about the people. So understand this: doctors heal the body, therapists heal the mind, but the DJ heals the spirit. And it's not about clout, it's about calling. And when God calls you to help people heal through sound, that's sacred. Don't take for granted. Peace.
Creatives, you should stop making content. In fact, you should stop making art for your peers, that is. They're not your assignment and they're not your audience. You should make art for the people who love your art.
You ain't ready to put 5 years of grind into anything without making a quarter.
Right.
Don't even start. Sometimes it takes that long to get over the hump. They're not ready.
I think a lot of people go through this thing where if they share information, they're going to lose their business. They're going to lose their edge. 2 things are true in this world. 1, there's only one you, and nobody can do what you do, even if they try to copy you 1 for 1. It's never the same. And then 2, most people that you give information to won't actually take you up on your information. I could tell people right now how to start a business from scratch, all the pitfalls and all the things you should and you shouldn't do. And you know what? 2% will actually take my advice and use it. The rest of them either know better than me or are too lazy to make it happen.
Before it's time to spin, you've got to first cue it up.
I'm probably in your area too. Everybody who owns a laptop, they're a DJ. Everybody who owns a DSL camera, they're a photographer.
And what I'll do is put up blurbs so therefore you can see what I'm thinking about and why I chose that song. You can see the reaction of the kids. So you can kind of like get an idea of how to use it and what to expect.
Why do you want to charge for something that you have the knowledge of and these other DJs don't have the knowledge of? Share your knowledge, you know?
Right.
But DJing's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it is a lot of fun too, you know? I'm DJ Mikey Mike. I cover central, northeastern Pennsylvania, southeastern Pennsylvania, parts of New Jersey, parts of New York State.
And I'm Dwayne Dixon, the HitmanDDUB from Cleveland, Ohio. And it's time to cue it up. What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Cue It Up DJ podcast with me, the Hitman DDUB, and my friend DJ Mikey Mike.
Hello, everyone.
This is a podcast where DJs of all skill levels come to connect, learn, and grow. From pro tips to real talk, we're here to support and celebrate the DJ community. So here are our three takeaways from last week's episode. So the first takeaway is meticulous preparation and communication around venue logistics is very important. So we started off the show last week talking about DJ Rachel's event she had in New Jersey, where she had a really hard time, or a bad time, rough time, no matter how you want to put it, loading in because of all the steps and obstacles she had to go through to get to her spot to set up. And I got something not as bad next week, but looking at the floor plan, and it's an outside venue, I might have some little issues that I want to make sure I get ironed out before I show up next week. And we'll talk about that more later on in the show. And then number two's takeaway is DJs must be flexible and adaptive. So that means you got to be flexible not only with your timeline, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes, but also with the music, because sometimes you can go in thinking the crowd is going to react one way, but it end up being something else. So the more flexible and adaptive you are, the better off you can be. And the last one is DJing today means mastering music and DMX lighting. So you don't have to do it, but if you know how to DMX light, or at least put up light so it makes something, your event, immersive, that's a good way to level up and give your guests a greater experience. And we kind of like talked about that on the Roundtable Tuesday. And so tonight, we're trying something different. I'm trying to go without doing my little notes and stuff. But tonight, we're going to talk about timeline management, my upcoming wedding prep that I've done this week. I got a new toy, so I'm going to show off my new toy. And then we're going to talk about something. We had a question from one of our viewers that had wanted to know, how do we handle extreme heat? Not going out, not DJing in the sun, but basically, they've been to this venue several times, and they had bad experiences each time. And each time they had spoken to the venue about certain things. Like, I don't think it's a barn, but it's basically DJing in an oven, where they're supposed to have air conditioning or ventilation, and the ventilation and air conditioning isn't either working or isn't set up properly. And also, this person had mentioned the outlet kind of thing going on. Mm-hmm. So he was wondering, when he saw that this client had picked this venue to do their wedding at, he warned them of all the pitfalls. But then at the same time, he's trying to fill up his calendar. So he was wondering, should he charge extra, or how, if he charged extra, how to handle it. So we're going to get into that later on. So we're going to have Mikey Mike, because since we are going freestyling our show, since Mikey Mike was telling me about his event this weekend, I thought we'll start off with that and piggyback off of that.
Well, it was a wedding this past Saturday. First of all, it was a 3.5-hour wedding from 4 o'clock to 7:30, which that's the time schedule they picked. That's fine. I'll be there. I'll do what I got to do. And basically, it was still being treated like a 5-hour wedding. So I was like, okay, well, we got to really cram everything in. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Got down there. We're all set up. We're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting. Looking at the watch. Well, 10 to 4, the photographer walks in. Hey, how you doing, Mike? I said, how you doing? So we're talking. She goes, Bride and groom here yet? I said, no. I said, her parents are here, but they're not here yet. So she's like, oh, geez. She goes, they should have been here. She goes, because I left them 20 minutes ago. I'm like, well, they're not here yet. So now the venue manager, which I know personally, she's getting a little bit nervous because, it's getting closer to the time that we're supposed to do the introductions and then all the formalities. Well, 5 after 4 comes, nobody's there. That's the time the introductions are supposed to happen. 4 after 4, nobody's there. 4:30, nobody's there. Here, they finally showed up just about an hour late for the introductions. So I'm like, oh my God. So got everybody together, got them all lined up, and they were supposed to come in from like the little balcony area, which was outside, which I'm glad they didn't because of the rain. But not only if it didn't rain, it was so hot, it was unbelievable. So they came in through the normal way, through the hallway, which was great, and got them in. The one groomsman asked me, could I run to the bar for a drink or two? I'm like, no, I'm sorry, you can't. We got to get the show on the road. You're an hour late. Everything's pushed back by an hour, so we got to get everybody in, get everybody rolling, get this show on the road. So got the introductions done. They did their first dance with the parents, doing the toast. The brother, the groom, the bride made a little segue into The Office, the house they love The Office, how they watch The Office together. It's just something that the couple, the brothers, the whole basically wedding party love The Office. Well, which was great. I got that done. But here during the during the toast, they were taking so long. The owner decided to start serving the food. Now that was like, wait a second, we didn't do prayer yet. Well, you got to get the food served. The venue owner got the food prepared, had it warmed up once, had it warmed up a second time, a third time. Now it's a fourth time. You can't keep that stuff in the big Dutch or big ovens that they have. So brought it out and they started serving the food. And then the photographer got word. She goes, Mike, it's now 5:30. How am I going to, I leave here at 6:30. I can't stay any later. I said, well, okay. She goes, how am I going to get any pictures of people dance? I said, don't worry about that. I'll take care of that. So I went up to the bride and groom and said, listen, I'm not asking you to eat fast, but can you make it a little quicker than what you're doing? And once you guys are done, we're going right over to the cake. Right from the cake, we're doing your bridal dance. Right from the bridal dance, we're going right into dancing. Okay, yeah, no problem. So they went with the flow, which was great. Some of the people sitting at the tables, they were, nonchalantly eating and doing more talking than eating. Now all of a sudden they hear it was an Italian song that she picked up for their bridal dance. They hear that come on. Now they're like, well, wait, we're still eating. Like, what's going on here? But they caught wind of it. They came up, they danced with it right from that, right into dance music. And the photographer came over. That was about 10 after 6. And she's like, Mike, I can't believe it. I got pictures of everybody dancing. You're spectacular. Thank you. That's so proud. I just want to make sure you got your pictures. I want to make sure everybody dance. Because now, it's 6:15. You only got to 7:30 and we're done. So we have, an hour and 15 minutes to go, and I'm out of there. Well, do the last song of the night, and right after the last song of the night, one of the guests came up and asked, I got 6 definite requests for you. Can you please get them out? And they said, I'm so sorry, I can't do that. And they're like, why not? I said, because I'm done for the evening. Oh, you can't be? I'm like, yes. They said, you have your invitation? Yeah. I said, look at the invitation. It's over. Music's over at 7:30. Everybody has to be out of the venue by 8 o'clock. Oh, you can't put one more song on? And people think that, okay, you're DJing, you have a computer, boom, everything's digital. Well, once you start breaking everything down, breaking that chain down, you shut off your speakers, shut off your mixer, eject your hard drives, shut your computer down, that back on, and poof, everything comes back on. And it doesn't work that way. But I talked to the couple yesterday and today. They loved the way I DJ. They were so excited. They couldn't believe toast. And right after the toast, like I said, we went in, they were eating. But after the cake cutting, they wanted to do a group picture of everybody at the venue that day. So, which was pretty easy to do because you had the cake cutting and we were going to get ready to do the bridal dance. So people were getting ready to stand up, which was nice because sometimes you have to, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, it's your chance to dance with the bride, blah, blah, blah. Well, as soon as I heard the song come on, I guess they were prepared for it. They start standing up. So I said, oh, wait a second. Here I had the theme song for The Office. I put that out, and the brother came over. He said, hey, this is Michael Scott here. I need everybody in the conference room. The conference room is, which now is the dance floor. So we need everybody up here on the dance floor, and we're going to take a nice group picture. So everybody just went from where they're standing in line to dance with the bride to right out to the dance floor. They took a nice group picture, and then boom, everything. I was so nervous that because they were so late that nothing was going to work out the right way, but it did. It worked out perfect, which I'm so happy. They're still on their honeymoon. They said as soon as they come back from their honeymoon, they're going to give me a 5-star review. I said, that's no problem. You take your time, enjoy your honeymoon. I'll see you when I see you, So, which is great. I'm so happy that everything fell into place, even though they were late,
Mm-hmm. So, for that 45 minutes or so, what did you all do? I mean, like, what was going on?
Well, she asked me specifically to stick to her playlist for dancing. So I'm like, I don't want to play their dance music. People were just conversing. I think a couple people were from out of town and stuff like that. So I figured, I want to stick to yacht rock music. I stuck to yacht rock music for that 45 minutes to an hour. Honestly, at least 15 to 20 of the guests came up and said, oh my God, we love this music. Thank you for playing it. It's awesome. I said, no problem. I said, I love this music too, which it is, especially during happy hour, cocktail hour, whatever you want to call it. You're able to converse. You don't play it loud, but it's nice, soft music. You can get up and dance to some of the songs. Some people did. I mean, it's just a spectacular form of music that people forgot about or don't want to play because it's like, oh, well, that's corny. To me and you, it might be, I don't think it's corny, but there's some other people, they may think it's corny. But 99.9% of the people, especially at a wedding, they want to sit down and talk. They want to hear something soothing. They don't want to hear something, oh, geez, I got to get up and dance to it. They want to hear something that's nice, quiet, soothing. They're happy to hear it, so I was happy to do it. I was happy everything turned out great.
Yeah, because I know I had a couple of weddings where there's one that was like yours, where the bride and groom forgot that there was a timeline. So they was out doing pictures and everybody's sitting around waiting. And then there was another one where we started on time, but there was like hiccups in between. Mm-hmm. So either something had to do with a dress. One had something to do with the groomsmen got drunk. So they were busy going back and forth out there. And I noticed like a lot of mine, I don't know about you all's, but a lot of my weddings have a bunch of kids. So anytime you have downtime, that's when the kids decide to run around and start touching stuff. So at that point, a few times it's like, since it's nothing's really happening and we're just sitting there waiting, that's when I try to like gear something for the kids to do, at least get some kind of organized chaos, play some of their songs so they'll be on the floor at least dancing and bopping to. And then what I found when I do that, a lot of the aunts or the grandparents that got out there and dance with them, So I just start playing, music for them. Not the dance, not the open dance music, but something to keep them engaged or start doing sing-alongs. So at least they won't feel bored or start questioning, why are we just sitting here waiting and nothing's happening?
I know the one wedding I did, there's no children at this wedding at all. And one of the elderly people came up and said, "Hey, do you have that sign? It was about a shark." I'm like, "Baby shark?" "Oh yeah, can you play it?" I'm like, "Sure." So I, right in the middle, like not in the middle of that. Well, we were dancing already, and I said, "All right, let's go out. It's a special request for so and so in the crowd out there. Here we go." And I hit the song, and all these elderly people are dancing to the song. I get more requests for that song from elderly people than I do kids. But I'm not saying this to be nasty or anything like that, but one of the worst things to have at a wedding are children. I did one wedding and the children kept coming up, especially like my mini parkours. Now, they're bright, but I mean, they're not super bright, but if you pick it up and you just stare at it, they're blinding. And there was 3 or 4 children kept on coming over, picking up the lights and just staring at them. They weren't being destructive. They weren't thrown down to the ground or anything like that. But I got concerned because they were picking up the lights and staring at them. So I went, I told them to stop, and they stopped for a second or two, and then they boomed back to it. So I made an announcement. I said, "Ladies and gentlemen, please, if these are any of your children up here in front of me, can you please come up and get them? And I don't want to see them get hurt, by looking into this light." So a couple of parents came up, got their kids, and kids went away. Then I went over and I talked to the bride and groom. I said, I keep on correcting these children. I said, I don't want to see them get hurt. I said, but the parents are just, they don't care. I said, do you mind if I stop the music and make an announcement to please come up and get your children? No problem. So they gave me that green light. And about 15 minutes later, there's the kids again, picking up the lights. They're like this, like during the headlight look. I'm like, oh, boom, pause on the music. And people are dancing. All of a sudden they're like, I said, this was the last time. Parents, please, these are your children. Please take them back to your table. Either one of the parents sit there and watch them, or both of you sit there and watch them, because I do not want them to get hurt. I'm not making this announcement again. If I have to, every time I have to, I'm going to stop the music, and I got the okay from the bride and groom to do so. So let me tell you, the parents listened. They got the kids away from the lights, and they made them sit down, which was great because I didn't know this till after the wedding. They were running around the hallways of the venue, which had 2 bars in it. They're playing on the elevators. One of the children threw up in the elevator. They were down by the built-in pool. One fell in the pool. Thank God the lifeguard was there. So, I mean, these kids were all around the whole hotel the whole night. I mean, from where the pool is and where we were at for the wedding, good quarter mile. And you got a 3-year-old kid running around by yourself. That's a no-no, So, thank God I did stop it. This way the parents had to really, really watch their children. So, anybody that's getting married, if you're going to invite children, invite an older brother or sister so they can babysit the children. If not, it's going to be a total chaos for you.
Yeah, but I was wondering why. I was getting ready to say, let me see out loud. Yeah.
I see DJ Will's in the house.
Yep. And then at Big J DG Service, he's in the house, and Kevin is here too.
I know Kevin. Oh, well. Will had a great wedding this weekend too.
Oh, okay.
God bless him. He had a drive and a half to get to his place from where he was. From my house to where his wedding was, it's about 2-hour drive, and he's about 45 minutes away from me, so he had like a 2-hour and 45-minute drive or a 2.5-hour drive. Like, that's rough. I did it. It's horrible, you know, especially when you're by yourself driving it too. It's like, hey, you know, that yellow line or those white lines on the road. Most of it's yellow lines because it's a country town that he went to, and you only had one town or two towns that you had really passing lanes in. Everything else is just a double yellow line. That's rough. Oh boy.
Yeah, but you don't have to tell me because I'm notorious for falling asleep. And what's bad up here, you know, this is what do you call them? Construction barrel season, the orange barrels. So you don't know how many times I be coming close. I just knocking one of those things over because I be falling asleep like what? That and deer jumping out.
Yeah. Where I live, I live in the city, like right on the outskirts of the city, but they have so much construction up behind us now that the bear, there was just a 450-pound bear spotted right by the house last week. I mean, they're everything's there. Turkeys, bear, fox, coyotes, you name it, we have it. Deer.
But yeah, this week has been for my wedding next week. Next week will be a 90-minute drive for me going there. And it look like they're going to have it's going to be pretty interesting because it's outside and it looked like this building is like a mansion kind of looking building. And it's like in I guess you could say the courtyard or whatever is like the wedding. And then I'm looking at this is not the finalized timeline. This is something that the wedding planner has sent me just to give me a heads up until she get it, you know, the official okay. But they're supposed to arrive with a horse and buggy kind of thing, carriage thing.
That's nice.
But I guess it kind of like fits them because he's like, was it eclectic kind of, again, an eclectic kind of vibe, American, and then that French kind of classical kind of vibe from them. But some of the things that's jumping out to me is they have a first dance and that's it. I don't see any other dances. But then it says at 5:30 is the bride and groom entrance. So they don't say grand entrance. They specifically said bride and groom. So I'm going to ask the planner tomorrow, is it just them coming in, or how are you going to do the bridal party, or if there is one? And as far as the special dances, are the parents included? Because I know for ours, we didn't have our wedding, we didn't have the parents, dances and all that, because her parents had died, so. I didn't want to dance. I didn't want to get out there and do extra dances anyway. So that was an excuse for me not to do mine. But
you got to get that clarified with the coordinator, because she may have put down one thing, they may have put down something else, given to her, and then she may have, if she's a wedding coordinator, sometimes these wedding coordinators take on 2-3 weddings for that same weekend, and then farm the jobs out. We'll have everything prepared for you. Just take the paperwork with you. So they farm the job out, and they're not the actual wedding coordinator that this couple hired, but everything went through that services. So that's how it is, Yeah,
because she looks like she has a couple of assistants, and you can see on this form that I have, you can see where it's delegated throughout the day, who's in charge of what, who's going to be coming and all that. So it should be a nice conversation with her tomorrow.
Well,
because she has
I want to show you something. Now this came from a wedding coordinator. Can you see how small that is?
I was going to say that looked like my Bible app.
It's from Cinematic, the Cinematic something. The print on it is so tiny. Even with my glasses on, I could barely make it out. I tried blowing it up in Photoshop. Everything got pixelated. I don't know what this place does. Do they hand this out to each vendor? Because there's no possible way you could read this. I don't have my glasses on now, but with my glasses on, I could barely make it out. But I don't want to be sitting there like that, squinting. When I do stuff, I print it out and I make sure it's nice, big, bold. Not only that I could see, but everybody else I'm handing one to, like the photographer, videographer, the venue manager, they can all read it. Because I don't know how everybody's eyesight is, so I like to make it big and bold.
But it
This way-
also looked like she had a whole bunch of other stuff on there too.
There's everything on here. Their arrival time in the morning, like 8 a.m. They're gonna arrive tomorrow morning. At noon noon is makeup. I mean,
No, it looked like so I know on the Viber app, you can put details down on notes.
yes.
So that's
there's
what
notes.
I was saying. It looked like there was a whole bunch of extra notes that.
Yes. I mean, she has minute by minute details of everything. I mean, see, this is what gets me with wedding coordinators. They're supposed to coordinate between the DJ, photographer, the videographer, whoever the vendors are, and they don't. And these couples pay not hundreds, they're paying thousands of dollars for their services. And this is what we get. It's like, what do I do with this? I know one thing I ain't gonna do with it. You know what that could be, right? I'm gonna bring it up on my computer screen, see if I can blow it up big enough that I'll bring it up, blow it up big enough in on the other computer, start typesetting everything so I know what I want, what I need, and I could give it to the photographer and I could give it to the videographer and the venue manager, because even for them to look at stuff like that, that's crazy.
Well, now you can use Chat GPT. Just like you remember, like the way that chart of music that those kids that scribbled on. It's like you could take a photo of that, put it in Chat GPT, and then ask it to put in a text file or PDF.
When the bride sent me this, I'm like, wait a second. So I texted her back. I said, can you email it to me? Because I thought, okay, she took a picture of it with her phone, and I look at, no, it's a file that I downloaded. That came from not her, but from the wedding coordinator that she sent. The wedding coordinator sent to her. So on your phone, yeah, it may look good, but who's going to keep going like this and blowing it up and blowing it up and blowing? Oh, okay, that's where we're at. But wait a second, no, they got the time. Now you got to see what we're doing at that time and what's involved in this. It's just unfortunate that the wedding coordinators don't think of this, or they do think of it. I can't say they don't think of it. They know what they're doing. They got their money off the couple already. Most of these coordinators are paid in advance, and 60 or 90 days before the wedding, they have to be paid in full. After that, hey, we got our money. It's up to the other vendors to figure this stuff out now. So here we are trying to get everything, especially the DJ. He's the one who's basically the man behind the scenes, has to have everything ready for the photographer, the videographer, even the venue, because they want to know what time the food's going to be served. If it's at 5:30, okay, all the formalities are going to be done before 5:30. Now, if you're running behind like we did this past weekend, well, now it's back on the DJ. Hey, wait a second, you said by 5:30. Well, I'm sorry, the wedding party ain't here yet, but they don't look at the wedding coordinator. They look at the DJ, because the DJ is the last one who gave their say, saying, okay, here, I print everything out for everybody, but I can't help it. The bridal party just failed to show up. What can you do,
Yeah, but but the one that I'm working with, or will be working with, she seems like she has her stuff together. Has been on top of it. But I made sure to reach out to her or introduce as soon as I heard that or got, some kind of communication from her, I tried to make sure I reach out to her, communicate with her. I made sure to go check her website out to kind of like get a vibe of what she's about. Follow her on Facebook and Instagram, start posting so we can get that communication. Because my thing is trying to network while I'm there, especially since it seemed like she has something going. So I'm hoping that we can be able to work together and do something in the future. But my main goal tomorrow when I talk with her is to, one, I just want to make sure, because this is something new, because this will be the first time I work with a wedding coordinator, a real wedding coordinator, not, I'm a friend, I'm doing you a favor kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where basically they took care of everything. And it's almost like I feel the way I felt when I first got into the wedding game, being the emergency DJ, where I didn't really have that much communication or, touches with the couple. It's almost like I got the paper, I had to decipher what's going on, try to get the songs together, and get in my mind how things are supposed to work, because I'm not the one actually talking to them. So I gotta assume.
Yes,
so it's one of those things where there's a couple of questions I want to ask and make sure that we're not stepping on each other's toes, and make sure that first of all she's going to be there, or somebody's going to be there, and who's going to be doing what, who's going to be doing the introductions, announcements, all that. So it's not one of those things where you put the timeline together, but then you looking at me at different spots, and I'm caught off guard.
That's why when I first sit down to meet with when they call me up, we'll talk and everything. They'll ask for a price. Me, I'm the type of DJ that doesn't give them the price that day. Can I get back to you in a day or two? Yeah, no problem, Mike. So sometimes in that second day, they may book somebody else. Chances are slim, but that does happen. But 99.9% of the time, it doesn't happen. So they wait for me to call back because I give them the price, and they're like, "Oh, that's a great price. I can't believe it." And my first question to them: are you working with a wedding coordinator? Well, we're looking at a couple. I'm like, well, here's what I'm going to say to you. And I tell them I'm not here to cut them down in any way or form. They have a job to do. They're supposed to do it. But what happens is they'll give you everything on a silver platter. But the day of your wedding day, stuff could change. And they ask me, what do you mean? And I tell them, they're supposed to be your wedding coordinator. So they're supposed to coordinate with me, all the vendors, not just me, just every vendor that's involved in this, even the hall and stuff. Well, honestly, 85% of the time, they don't. And we have some very good wedding coordinators out there that are overly detailed. I mean, they're right down to the little, the finest detail. And then there's these others that just don't give a crap about anything. They got their money, boom, that's it. And who reads up on reviews on a wedding coordinator? I mean, not too many people. They just, hey, we got somebody here we're going to hand everything over, Here's the venue, here's our photographer, here's our videographer, here's our DJ. Okay, I'll put the timeline together for you. They put the timeline together, they email it back to the couple, or they meet with the couple, they give it to the couple gives it to me. It's usually the week before, and I'm like, well, wait a second, this really doesn't work out. They're like, what do you mean? And then I start explaining stuff to them, I said, didn't you talk to her about this or him about this? Booth man, I'll tell you, he got it. They took you hook, line, and sinkers. I mean, which is sad because these couples are going into blind. Most of them, it's their first time ever being married. The ones that were married before, if they hire a wedding coordinator, they are on top of the wedding coordinator like you wouldn't believe. No, wait a second. You're supposed to be doing this first. Why are you doing this? So it's, the good and bad. Our, like Clint Eastwood's movie, good, the bad, and the ugly. So you got the good, you got the bad, and then you got the ugly part of the wedding coordinator business. To me, I tell every couple, don't waste your money. Basically, everything's going to come through the DJ. We'll handle it for you. just let me know. I'll talk to the venue. There's been times I had to call up one of the bridesmaids because they were fighting with the bride. I had to call up a future mother-in-law, because they were fighting with the groom. Like, it's the bride's mother. I'm like, yo, Mrs. So-and-so, why are you doing this to your future son-in-law? Then they give me some stupid answer. Then I tell them, listen, this is your future son-in-law. Come on. You're going to have many years to deal with this young man. You may have your daughter may have grandchildren. What are you going to do then? Then it makes them think a little bit. But some people, you'll never change. It's just the way it is, and that's it.
I was trying to make sure my internet is working, because Will had asked, do they get reviews like DJs? And I want to say this one did. I'm just double checking, but some of them do. Ones that do it professionally, not the weekend warriors, the ones that actually do it. And I'm thinking she might be in a network of venues too, because I know a lot of venues have their own preferred venues, be a wedding coordinator or event advisors. They have certain people to do that job, because I guess that's a good way if you want a certain, I guess you could say, vibe or flow or whatever, to have people that's consistently working with you, so you know what kind of product that you're going to get to represent your venue and pull in the more affluent kind of clients.
What I like about the wedding I did this past weekend, the wedding I'm doing tomorrow, both venue owners, they have like a manager or whatever you want to say that delegates the work to the rest of the crew out there. But both of them, both owners, come around and they go to every table and they talk to each guest, ask them how the food is, ask them if they want more of this, more of that. I mean, even if they have to bring a little bowl of mashed potatoes out just for that one guest, they're doing it. They are superb with that. But then you get these venues that, again, they don't care. They have a venue manager. The owner ain't there. The venue manager comes around. She's up. She might be talking to somebody, might be a guest that may know him or her. So you have to look at every aspect of it. I mean, I try to tell each couple, your best one you're going to talk to is your DJ. We have the most experience. These wedding coordinators may have just got hired, may have just started this business. Do they receive reviews? Well, honestly, I'm going to say around here that there's 100 wedding coordinators, and there might be 4 that have a website or have a Facebook page. The rest of them, they're just doing it by word of mouth. Yes, they're considered a professional DJ because that's what they're doing. The one lady I worked with, it was her 9th wedding that she did. I'm like, okay. She brought home more money than me to DJ that night. I'm like, how much did they pay you?
Mm-hmm.
Really? I'm like, you didn't do nothing. Yeah, but I planned everything else. You didn't talk to me. You didn't talk to the photographer. And I said, I just talked to the venue manager here, and you just called the venue on Wednesday. The wedding's here Saturday. Wednesday, you're getting in contact with the venue. To me, that's a no-no. Me as a DJ, I'm usually reaching out to the venue, the manager, because some venues have several different managers. You got a manager for this hall, that hall. It might be a venue that has multiple halls. So they have a manager for the Northeast section of it, the Midwest section, the South section of it. So you gotta go through a bunch of loopholes to get to the person that you need. But when you do it this way, when you get in touch with that person, you know exactly what to do. Where you come in for your load in, load out. Poor Rachel, she got crushed last week with that load in and load out. With Kevin, we brought that story up. I know we didn't get to it, but I want to go to there if you don't mind. First of all, you know the venue that you were dealing with. You've been there. This couple calls you up. they want to know if you want to DJ their wedding. They'll tell you. They're telling you where it's at. You know what you've went through there. Don't take the wedding. You can't charge them extra for you bringing in fans or bringing in this because the venue isn't supplying it or fixed to fail their broken equipment. You can't pass that cost on to the bride and groom.
Actually, you can. Actually,
Well,
that one. You can pass whatever price you all want.
but the thing is, you misery once before by being at that venue.
You got either change your zoom or sit still because it's like every time you start talking, it's like you going.
Yeah.
Now you got mine all screwed up. Now I gotta. How can I get back?
Are you back now?
No, because you.
Yeah, I see me now. Yeah.
I'm like, what is? This is new Zoom thing.
Yeah, that Zoom thing I don't like. Cause like you move and sometimes they'll suck you in and sometimes they'll push you back out.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, if I DJ'd at a venue and this couple calls me up and asks me to be their DJ, and then they tell me the venue it's at, I will 99.9999% of the time decline that wedding. I don't care what I'm getting paid. I'm declining it. I have one venue. Well, there's a couple venues that I will not DJ at all. The one venue, weddings start at 100,000. That's their starting price. I mean, DJs are getting paid starting at $5,000-$6,000. And you're not bringing nothing. You're bringing one light, your DJ services, and that's it. Thing is, you go to set up there, you can't come in jeans, you can't come in shorts, you must come in khaki pants. This is for setup. Khaki pants, dress shoes, well, not dress shoes, loafers, a dress shirt, and a tie. This is for setup. I'm like, you mean I can't come with, I have khaki shorts? And no, sir, you must come with khaki pants and you must come with a shirt and tie on. I'm like, what are you, crazy? It's 90-something degrees out. Sir, we will not let you in. I'm like, oh my God. So I had to go down there, be all dressed up, set up. I had to come back home, take a shower, and fly back down to the venue because I had to change everything. Everything was soaking wet from me sweating. Put my lights on because the bride and groom wanted these, nice. They were an older couple.
I don't mean to, because I'm trying to follow you. It's like after that Zoom thing, it's like I forgot what was the point. I mean, like
I jumped off. The thing is,
okay, so it wasn't me. So it wasn't me.
No, it was me. I knew what was going to take place at that venue. If I get called to DJ there again, I will gladly decline it because I know what I went through. Kev, if you are going to take this wedding just to fill a date, that's on you. That's on the venue. That's on the bride and groom. That's on you. You know what you're getting into already.
But at the same, this is my take though. If you know about these issues, it's just like going to a venue that have a whole bunch of stairs. There's a lot of people charged for going up a bunch of. If I have to take my stuff, this is like one person had asked me to do a rooftop kind of event. That means I will have to not only come earlier, but I have to go to a certain spot. I have to go inside, make sure somebody's there to bring the elevator lift down, and it's a whole bunch, and it's a certain time. So it's one of those things where I think, yes, you can ask for more and put it on there because this is something extra that you have to do that's far, go far beyond that.
My point of argument there would be, you're going to a place that has stairs that you have to go up and down. They've always been there up and down. Now, he was at this venue once before and the air conditioning didn't work. Now he's going to give them a price because he has to bring fans and bring this and bring that with him. He gets there, the air conditioner is working. What does he do? Does he deduct from that price now?
No, because see, here in Cleveland, or Ohio, we go actually visit our venues. So it's not like he's going in blind.
Well, the thing is, you could walk in. I mean, there's one venue I was at. it was so nice and cool in there the whole night, and then all of a sudden, the air conditioner broke. Oh my God, it was pathetically hot in there. Here, the venue manager, she's flying around like you wouldn't believe. I was like, what the heck is going on? She's like, the air conditioner broke out. I'm like, broke. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. She's like, no. I'm like, oh, this is a shame, you know? So here she got to kick back on. But what she did then is brought out a bunch of fans just in case the air conditioning kicked back off again. But thank God it didn't. I was like, oh, it was hot, hotter than hot. You know, you got 150 people in there, and guess what? All those bodies sweating in the middle of summertime, you're dying there. I mean, it was pretty pathetic. But again, it's something that we have no control over. I mean, an air conditioning can break at any time. I was to a place, it was a winter wedding. The heat broke. So, okay, you got that extra heat from the body heat from the people that are there. But here, it was still terribly cold in there. But I couldn't charge the bride and groom extra. And even that summertime one, when the air conditioning broke, but they did get it to come back on, I couldn't charge extra for the air conditioning not being in working services. That's the venue's problem there. They're the ones who have to deal with the guest and to deal with the bride and groom. I mean, I'm suffering as much as the guests are suffering. I'm praying my equipment doesn't overheat. You know, it's
That's why you should charge extra. This is my whole point.
Well,
you can say you can turn it down. Okay, you turn it down, and then you're guaranteed there's a 100% chance when you turn it down that you get nothing from the gig. But if you go and say, well, because of, you don't even have to say because of this. You could just say, for me to DJ at this event, this is my price. Take it or leave it. Now you have a 50-50 chance. 50% chance that they might take you at that price. So now you have a gig and you getting extra money for doing that gig, as opposed to saying just decline it just right off the back and then don't get anything.
Well, like I was saying about that venue that I had to go dressed up to set up. I got several calls to DJ there again. I told him straight up front, I said, I will never. You could offer me $10,000 there for a 4-hour wedding. I will not DJ there. I'm sorry. But Mike, we love you. I don't care. I will not DJ in that venue. And I will not DJ in that venue. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. It is a beautiful place, but for what they put the vendors through, no.
That's because you have to wear special clothes. I mean,
it was, well, the thing is, like, I had to park over 100 yards away from the venue. Okay, I have my cart. I walk. There's 10 steps I got to go up. So now the cart doesn't go up to 10 steps. So I got to pick up the stuff. And where they have you load in at is basically like it's a rooftop over it. But there's like a wall maybe about 2.5 feet up. It's like a storage area for them. They put their Christmas decorations there, all their different holiday decorations. But now you're walking over all this stuff. I mean, you have a chance of breaking a leg, breaking an ankle, falling, anything. I'm like, this is unbelievable. Can I come in through the side door? No, sir. This is where the vendors load in. I'm like, this is nuts. I got a couple calls for it. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I even if you offer me $10,000 to DJ your wedding there, right now, if somebody called me up and said, Mike, it could be my best friend, it could be my niece, nephew, anything. Uncle Mike, we're getting married and we're having our wedding at so and so venue. I don't care what you offer. I'm not DJing there.
I'm like, chuck that. I'd rather go DJ that for $10,000 because that's almost a third of what a lot of people make in a year just to walk a few extra yards. I'm like, that's out. That doesn't add up. $10,000 more, or you sit at home and make nothing on the couch. It's like that
What-
does,
what
or
did-
you take another little gig that only pays a small percentage of that. That doesn't.
Honestly, Dwayne, I would rather take a gig that paid $1,000 than go work there at this place that paid that could get $10,000 for it. My friend that worked at the Woodlands, he was there since our sophomore year in high school, which I'm out of school 43 years now. So he would have been at this venue for 45 years. Lost his job. He went to work at this venue. He has 45 years experience. He lasted 6 months. He said, Mike, they treat everybody like they are slaves. And he said they don't want to hear nothing. They don't care.
Man, I'm lost. It's for some. I don't know if I have ADHD tonight or something. It's like I get lost. Of okay,
Well,
now,
I'm talking about this venue that I can make $10,000 at, and I will not DJ there. My buddy was the venue manager there because he lost his job at this other venue. He said, Mike, I will not. He quit the job. He said, I cannot treat my employees the way they want me to. That's how this owner, like, it's not a single owner, it's a board of owners. It's a board, and then they make the final decision, and they belittle people so bad, it's unbelievable. I mean, there are a bunch of rich people that sit up here in society, and everybody else is below them. And the further down the chain you are, the worse you get treated. And it's horrible how what they do to these people. It's unbelievable. Honestly, Dwayne, if you've seen this place, you would say, man, this is beautiful. Well, guess what? Women can't come in through the front door. Women have to go through the back door. Will you go there? This is 2026.
I'm
You're
like,
not allowed
y'all different over there. I'm not. Let's get to the chat, because it's like going back to, because I didn't mention. I'll try not to mention his name, but since you threw his name out there, going back.
Sorry.
Going, because he didn't say mention my name, so I was trying to be discreet, but to help
feel
my
bad
buddy
for-
out.
I feel bad for any vendor that has to deal with heat, especially heat. Chances of your equipment breaking, especially your computer, hard drives, you have a great deal there. So when I have an outdoor venue, especially graduation parties, I always brought a fan for me. Usually 2 fans for me, and a fan, 2 fans for my equipment, blown from both sides, or one from this side, one from the back. But when you're going to a venue and it's a 50-50 shot, the AC can work, the AC can't work. Barn weddings are well, most barn weddings don't have ACs. There's a couple around here that do have ACs. And again, ones with the ACs, it's comfortable. The ones without the ACs, you're praying for a nice, cool, breezy day. Because if not, even if it's a cool, breezy day inside of a barn, it's still hot. I mean, the heat just generates from that building. It's a metal roof on it that's soaking up the heat, passing it down through the wood. It's like, oh my God. Then you sit back and go, why did I take this job? Why did I take this job? I'm never coming back here again, you know?
Yep. So let me go to the chat, because Buddy is 10:05. Buddy is in the chat. A Nuke 9868 is in the chat. And let me go back to when you had brought up the question, because I look at it like it's just like DJing outside, where if they can't provide me shelter and I have to bring in an extra tent and all that stuff, that's like an add-on feature and
That's
stuff.
an add-on right there. If I have to bring my own tent, definitely an add-on. I mean, there's no possible way I'm not doing an event outside without a tent. Chances of the rain. I mean, when you have an outdoor event, it's a flip of a coin. Either it's going to be beautiful out, or you may have the chance of rain, or you may have chance of thunderstorms that potentially downpour. So, I mean, outdoor events are beautiful, but then you're subject to the conditions, the weather. You know, it's just makes it unpleasant for the guests. Even if there is a pavilion, there's a roof above you. It's just now I got to get back to my car and it's pouring rain out. You know.
But let's start with Will's. Will's question was, do wedding coordinators get reviews like DJs? So, yeah. Again, those that is trying to do this for real, that have a system that runs a wedding business, yes, they have reviews. And these are reviews. I typed in wedding coordinators near me in Cleveland. So just like a DJ, they do their reviews, they put up their pictures and all of that. So there's a difference between, it's just like DJing. There's a difference between being a real DJ and just a DJ that just pretty much got a little controller, some music, and just playing songs. There's no kind of skill or tech or business savvy behind them. So that can go for the wedding coordinators. That can go for any kind of job that you have, period. It could be plumbers.
Exactly. Yeah. You could be a handyman, or you could be an electrician. You could be a handyman, or you could be a plumber, or you could be a handyman and be a master of all, but a jack of all trades, a master of none, as they say it, you know?
And then let's see. Kevin said the coordinators coordinate with the newlyweds and give orders to vendors.
Kev, you hit that nail right on the head, man. They give us the orders. It's like, wait a second, I'm not working for you. I'm working for the bride and groom.
I look at it. We work as a team. We are a team. You have a job. Yeah. I have a job. This person have a job. We all need to make sure that we all are doing what we're supposed to, and make sure that everybody know their roles, stay in your role, and make it happen.
I honestly, I worked with this one coordinator, which was such a pleasure of working with a coordinator that knew exactly what their job was. The couple came to them. Here's my list of vendors. That coordinator reached right out to me, reached out to the photographer. They didn't have a person doing the videos, just a photographer. This vendor, or this wedding coordinator, reached out to the florist even. Reached out to the limousine service. I mean, that's what a wedding coordinator should do. Do they all the time? No, because sometimes they take on too much work. Their job isn't really that hard. It's not physically demanding. It's more psychologically demanding, because you've got to, they want you to help set up the seating chart of the tables and stuff like that. So you may have 3 weddings that weekend. So now you're thinking, oh, geez, did I do it right for this wedding? Did I do it right for that wedding? Well, this couple wants half, the bride side, half the groom side. What I like to do when a couple asks me, mix them up. What do you mean, Mike? I said, listen, you want the families to get to know each other. Mix them up. That's the easiest way. And after you eat, they get up and they go to the bar. They go to the other tables. They sit down, talk to other people. They're just sitting there while they're eating. That's all. So they have a half hour or 45 minutes or an hour's worth of conversation. They get to know each other a little bit. They may not like each other, but they may like each other. So it's a hit and miss thing. That's why I always tell every couple.
But yeah, again, I'm trying to remember what the initial point was. But the main thing, I was going to say, but you got to just remember, you get what you pay for. Because me and Buddy had looked up this lady, and she charged a pretty penny for her services, and she had packages just like a DJ would. And also looking at her pictures, she's not just a person that just call people. She looked like they can, because a lot of these wedding coordinators, like the ones that was on this top of this Google review list, a lot of them also decorate. They also go far and beyond. So you get what you pay for. And
yeah, I mean, the horrible wedding coordinator I dealt with, it was her 9th wedding. She charged, if I'm not mistaken, her charge was $4,800. She didn't talk to me, the photographer, the videographer, never corresponded with us at all. I tried calling her, tried emailing her, got nothing back. Tried texting her, nothing back. Photographer, I know him personally. He did the same thing. Got the same results as I did. She went to the venue the week of the wedding. She got $4,800 for putting ivy on the table, putting the sign up Mr. and Mrs. behind where the couple's going to sit. She came up to me, she says, "How does it look?" I said, "It's wrong." She said, "What do you mean it's wrong?" I said, "Mr. Who's sitting there?" "The bride." "Oh, I should have had her sit over on the other side." Like, no, that's the side she wants to sit on.
But I was going to go back again. That's because you charge all that doesn't mean anything. Because again, there's a lot of DJs. We see them on Facebook all the time.
Oh yeah.
They charge arm and a leg, and their setup don't look like, just look junky, and their social, I guess you could say, proof and profiles look junky. So you can charge. People cannot do their homework and do their research and pay them, but that's all. But at the same time, that's on that couple or whoever booked them.
Oh, the couple is ready to kill her at the end of the night. I seen pictures from her, like her business, and she had pictures of that wedding. I mean, everything looked spectacular. But when it came down to brass tacks, if somebody called up, you know, if they knew the person that DJ'd, if they knew somebody that was at that wedding and called, "Hey, how was that wedding for you?" Honestly, every guest was complaining about her too. Because she was going up and telling the guests, "Well, you got to move your feet. You're getting tangled in the ivy." Like, well, take the ivy off the table. You got a bunch of drunks trying to sit down. You know they're going to get tangled up in the ivy, you know? It's unfortunate. You get some people, I mean, it was her 9th wedding. I mean, it was horrible. I felt bad for the bride and groom. And like I said, you have good and bad in everything, even DJs. You got DJs that they take pictures, or they upload pictures onto their website or to their Facebook page that may be from another wedding that some other DJ posted, whatever, and they get away with it. It just, there should be some kind of, I know there is a copyright rule there somehow.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, and then Sean hit me to that. It's one of those things that you should know as a DJ anyway, or a content creator. But Sean or DJ Night Owl or North Georgia Weddings event planner, all that person, he said, make sure when you post your content, always put your watermark or your logo or your name or somewhere on there so it can identify with you.
I have a watermark that I use for some of my stuff, and if you look at the picture, you won't know it's there. But you download it, you go to upload it, you go to preview it on your screen, you say, "Oh, wait a second, there's a watermark on this." So, okay, well, if I didn't see it on the screen, people aren't going to see it on the screen. But once you upload it, you can see that watermark 1, 2, 3. It just, from working in the printing industry, I learned that little trick, and it works perfect.
But you don't want to hide your watermark. That defeats the purpose.
Well,
you put your name bold up there so they can see your work, identify that work with your name, and maybe that venue, and then.
If you download that and you know something that's good with, well, you don't even have to know anybody with good with Photoshop today. Just AI. You can say, "Hey, take that person's name out." Boom. It'll replace that name. Even on your phone, you could go take that picture, download that picture to your phone on your iPhone. You can use the eraser and it'll erase that name right there, 1, 2, 3. So today, putting something that you can see may prevent somebody from downloading it, but putting something there that you cannot see on the screen at first until they download it, and then they go to use it to upload it, and now you could see it. Or once they download it and they bring it up on their computer, now they could see it. It's like, oh, wait a second, I can't use this picture now. You know, if you look at some of the stuff from Getty Images, they have Getty Images through the whole photo. I mean, even over the person's face, everything, but it's so light that you can barely make it out on the person. Oh, okay, well, yeah, I could get in there. I could do some Photoshop. I could do this. By the time you sit down and do all that, it's hours pass by. So put something on there that you could see, but you can't see. You know? Yeah.
No, that's
Honestly,
that defeats its purpose.
I could get a picture of you. If you could have your name there, I guarantee you within 3 minutes, I could have your name out there. I can make you look a little bit different. I could upload your picture 1, 2, 3.
If Joe Smo want to take all that work to do all that, go ahead and knock yourself out. Because we play a video clip before the show starts where Cleveland Terry says the person can take something of yours and do the same thing that you do, but they can never duplicate yourself. So,
No.
because eventually because there's a lot of people that have websites up there that use stock images and know good and well they never DJ'd a festival, their dance floors don't be as full, they never DJ'd in that event. Because sooner or later, the veil's going to be pulled apart and you got to show and prove. And so the only thing they do is just setting themselves up for failure. So my thing is, it's all about marketing. So what's the point of marketing if you don't put your name up there and have people identify your brand with a certain style of work? Because again, there's 4 places that they look for you before they even reach out to you.
I do have my name usually on my pictures, but then I also have my watermark. You know, I mean, I make sure my name is there, but I also want to make sure my watermark is there because just in case, like I said, I've been out of the printing industry for so many years now, but I could still, with my knowledge, I could still bring that picture up in Photoshop and within seconds, the name is gone. Instantly. I mean, wipe it away. And then I could upload that picture 1, 2, 3. It's unreal what you can do with Photoshop or any of these basically photo editing programs. You got Corel, you have Adobe's the most noted program, but you could take any picture and do whatever you want. But once you put a watermark on there, that isn't really visible to a person or faintly visible to a person on screen. And then once they download it and then they bring it up, and then once they see it in their Photoshop, they're like, oh boy, no, I'm not even screwing with this, you know. So they just delete it from their computer. You're protecting yourself by putting your name on it. It is your image, but by putting that little watermark that is just barely able to see, you're really protecting yourself then.
Yeah,
it's so simple to create. You just save it. So when you have your pictures and you're sitting at your computer, okay, I'm going to upload this to my website. You're bringing it up in Photoshop. You just drop that watermark on there. Boom. It's not visible to Joe Smo down the street, but once they download it into their computer, you know, I have people ask me, can I download the pictures? Yeah, no problem. If I'm doing an event that I have to put my watermark on them, if I'm doing somebody's wedding, I don't care because usually they're the only ones that can visit it. Can I download them? Yeah, I upload everything in high resolution. Download them, do whatever you want. You want to share it, you could share it. You could do anything you want to do with it. So I'm not worried about. But if I'm doing something very professional that I want to make sure is going to make my stuff stand out, I'm going to put my name very visible, and then I'm going to put my watermark on it also. Dual protection.
All right.
I see him. Buddy said he wouldn't DJ at an event that doesn't supply air conditioning.
And let me see. Kevin says he has done. He has put he called it a discomfort fee.
Kev, I don't blame you. I mean, it's unfortunate that this venue treats their guests that way, their future clients that way, their vendors that are working there that way. It just, some venues just don't give two craps about, you know, they're in it for the money. Somebody could complain about their their air conditioning service, and they'll make a comment back out. Google says, "Oh, I'm sorry, the air conditioner happened to break that day." Well, once you start getting them, like they had 40 weddings that summer. Well, if you got 40 complaints that the air conditioner broke, makes you think, hey, should I book my wedding there or not? You know, like, I don't think I'm going to book it there. I mean, he did the right thing by reaching out to the couple and not trying to persuade them, but trying to tell them what could happen there and what his experiences were. That's a A+ for Kevin, because I do that many a times. Believe me, because there's some venues around here that are the same way, that they don't care about the claim. They're in it for the money, and that's it.
Yeah, y'all are different over there. But and Kevin also said he also or call it a inconvenience fee. So if they pass on me, okay, but if I get it, he gets more money for the misery. So yeah, he had the same thought process I had. And then at Nuke 9868 said, "Boy, this is hilarious. Factor in pretty much everything that could be a problem for you, etc. should be factored into your rate anyway." Yup. And that's why I was saying. That's why I was kind of like telling Kevin how I would kind of like slide it in, just giving him a price, because a lot of times you post prices on the website. I got mine on the website, but a lot of times a lot of couples don't even really look at it. They always keep calling or inquiring about what my prices are and all that stuff. So therefore, I have an idea of what my price is. I say I have a range, and let's talk so I can get an idea of what you want. And then as they talk, I'm calculating this stuff up, and then at the end I do the investment that they want to have.
Yeah. I talked to the venue manager from this past weekend. She said her weddings are down by 80% this year. The venue I'm going to tomorrow, their weddings are down by 85%. My buddy, who's a photographer, this is his third wedding of the year. He said, "Mike, weddings have dropped off drastically." He talked to a couple other venue managers. He said there was one venue, they didn't do one wedding yet this year. He said it's just, they came down on their prices even. He said, and they can't get the business now. He said they raised their prices. He said now the business just went away from them. People started going to other venues now, and now they're trying to attract the business back to them. But once you scare the potential clients away, it's hard to get them back. And thing is, like, going back to Kevin, I feel bad from this weather condition. It's terrible. But here in Northeast PA, and I don't know if it's just in Northeast PA or is it in the Northeastern section of the United States, everything has declined so much. People are going to Guitar Center. They're renting equipment there, so they can save on getting a DJ. It's costing $1,500 to rent the equipment, and 9 times out of 10, their wedding turns out to be a disaster because the person who's running the music is drunk. Graduation parties, people are just going out getting those speakers at Best Buy. They're playing what they want to play on them now. So is a DJ business hurting here in Northeastern PA? Yeah. I mean, it's just unfortunate. The vendors are being hurt too. I mean, the venues are being hurt too, because it's a lot of places are booking venues now. It's like unbelievable. And the venue I was at this past weekend, they are probably one of the most affordable venues. But my eyes, honestly, they're probably one of the best venues in our area. Their business has declined 80% from weddings. This other venue up in Back Mountain, they lost like 90% of their wedding business. Guy said, "Mike, I don't know what happened." He kept the same prices that he had from 2 years ago. He said, just like people aren't booking weddings now.
But yeah, but see, there's a lot of factors you got to look at, because you also pointed out that you said a lot of vendors or venues don't care about their customers. So there, you can do that maybe once. I wouldn't say do that, but once you start doing that over and over and over, you're gonna get a repetition. And people is not gonna keep going there and patronizing your your venue if you keep treating people like crap. And then also, times has changed, especially after the pandemic. So if you didn't change the way that you operated, then you fell to the wayside. Even in 2020 was a hard reset for the world, period. And a lot of people that didn't adapt to the way the pandemic was when we shut down, they fell to the wayside. If you didn't learn how to survive and keep your business growing and reaching out and putting out content and still doing parties, there's still a lot of DJs doing parties, but you had to do it a different way. So if you never evolved, you fell to the wayside. Then when you came out of the pandemic, the world was totally different then. The mindset was totally different then. So if you don't ever evolve, then eventually you're going to fall to the wayside, and then your numbers going to fall down. So it's not that, again, going back to Tom said weddings didn't drop. The numbers show that weddings didn't drop. It's just how they doing the weddings and where they going. That's where you have to go and look at, see what is the shift and what do I need to do to shift what I'm doing to regain those clients back.
I heard a lot of people here are having backyard weddings. They're getting a speaker or renting equipment at Guitar Center. So they're looking for the alternative and best value for themselves. So it's like, what does the DJ have to do? How does a DJ adjust himself to keep competitive? There are a lot of venues. The venues are still booking weddings, but they are smaller weddings. And I have a wedding Friday, I have a wedding Saturday. Now I have a wedding Friday, and I might not have my next wedding till 3 weeks from now or 4 weeks from now. It's changed. I don't know what happened. It's the economy is tanking too. There's so many factors in it. It's unbelievable, unbelievable. And you have to adjust to every situation. I mean, like you said about the pandemic. Here in Pennsylvania, you couldn't do nothing. I mean, everything was just shut right down. Then when they did open up, it was so funny. You could sit at the table, take your mask off, but once you stood up, you didn't even have to walk away from the table. As soon as you stood up, you got to put your mask back on. Like, you're sitting, no mask. You're standing, you have to have a mask on. What's the difference? Is that potential virus going out in a different way because you're standing up? I didn't get that till this point, till this day. Yep. But now I've noticed, I did a couple weddings already this year. People are starting to wear masks again. I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on, and I don't want to know what's going on. People are getting scared again. It's just, they're getting that little fear of them that there's this type of virus coming around, that type of virus. It's just like, wow, wait a second. Yep. I want to live for today. That's it.
All right, and then Kevin. And then A Newt 9868 said you wouldn't survive down in the South where it's hot. With Hunter, you might have to check in with Hunter, see how he does it.
Oh, I would survive in the South. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I've DJed so many events outside. It doesn't bother me. But when I know I'm going to a venue that I know has a problem with their AC or whatever they have in there, that's when I start getting, hey, I would call them. Is your AC working? Did you get it up to par? Did you have, whatever company come in and fix it for you? If they say, no, we're just going we're playing by our shirt tails. It's, what kind of business they're trying to run. They're running a fly-by-night business. That's all it is.
Yep. All right. And then Kevin went on to also say for $10,000, you can pay for help. He says, price it to factor in needing assistance. That makes the event no different than others. And then Buddy had asked you what's wrong with rich people. Going back to your comment, you had mentioned, I guess.
I have no problem with rich people, but there's a board that owns this place, and it's not made up of ordinary folk like you and I. They are brain surgeons, super high profile attorneys and stuff like that. So there might be, I think, 8 or 10 members on this board, and they vote on all the rules, and they are the ones who set the rules. To be a member at this place is $125,000 a year. And not only that, you have to spend over $100,000 a year. So right there, you're at $225,000 a year. Buddy, if you could afford that, all the power to you, man. I mean, it just, they look down upon the average person making 40, 50, 60, even 100,000 a year. I mean, these people are multi-millionaires.
But I was going to say, but at the same time, because I'm trying to take this picture off that Buddy sent. But at the same time, you price it's just like what Buddy calls tire kickers. Because I know events do that here. To keep the riffraff out, they price they price at a certain level to make sure the common, the problems can't afford them. It goes right back to, was it last year or this spring, the Carnival cruises? You have all those people going in there causing all that problems, so they went up on their prices. So therefore, a lot of these, the normal people can't afford to come on their boat to cause problems. So that's what's going on with the venue. So it's not about being snooty. It's about appealing to a certain clientele and making sure that clientele can come and party and not deal with this other.
How would you like to
stuff.
go to this venue and you could walk in through the front door and you tell your wife, honey, I'm sorry, you can't come in this way. You have to go to the back door. That in today's world, to me, that ain't right. I don't care if it was 50 years from now or 50 years ago. That ain't right. That's segregation.
No, but actually, you're mixing rich people up with racists. Rich people and racists, those are two different
it's not even the racists. I mean, you could be whatever color, whatever race, whatever nationality you want to be. The only ones that are allowed to walk through that front door are male. That's it.
So, but it goes back to my point. So your problem is that they are snobby racists and not rich people.
Well, they're rich people too. They are so high up in society, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's unfortunate that they treat. Well, I can't say they can even treat their clients that way, because the people that are usually their clients are members of the club. Because like I said, I think it's $125,000 to be a member there. Plus, you must spend $100,000 a year there. If not, you're kicked out to the wayside. It reminds me of
the Illuminati, but I'm not going to say it. But that's what it sounds like.
The show with Eddie Murphy, in Philadelphia, him and Dan Aykroyd, they switched trading places. Yeah, I mean, how you see them going to their snobby saunas and restaurants and stuff like that. That's how this place is. Just like, I couldn't believe what I had to go through to DJ there. I was like, this is uncalled for. I mean, I could park here, came in through the side door, which was right where I had to set up the DJ. But no, I had to park 100 yards away, walk over planks and over decorations, and because there was no clear path. They didn't have like a clear area that you could walk through. You actually had to step over stuff.
So you charged them this. So did you charge them a regular price that you would charge as if you had an easy load in, or?
Yes, because what I was told is, oh, sir, you could pull right up here. You could come right in. You could load right in from here. I'm like, okay, no problem. This is great. Perfect. But when you got there, guess what? Different story. You could not. You had to go around the back 100 yards away and walk 100 yards for all this crap. Up 10 steps. Oh.
Yep.
I think that's it. I will never go back. That's what killed me, because they lied right to my face that I could park here. I mean, I went down to the venue. Yeah, you could park right here, Mike. No problem. Here's where you got to come in. You have 2 little steps to go up, and you're right there. I'm like, oh my God, this is fabulous. I couldn't believe it.
All right, let me go. And let me go back to the chat. And Buddy sent me a picture, and it's like we're going back and forth. About the time he sent me the picture, I'm not sure what the picture is supposed to represent. So let me know, put in the chat what the picture is supposed to represent, and I'll show it real quick to make sure I point out what you want me to point out. Where did I leave off at? And boom, boom, boom. This rich 10,000. Heck yeah. All right. So a lot of people say for $10,000 they'll do it for that little inconvenience.
Buddy, no, I'm not going after the cheap customers, buddy.
But he also said, I have load in and out through the kitchen. That sucks. I would not do a gig without AC. I have done that, like it's mainly DJing at hotels where you have to take a service freight up and then you have to go through the kitchen and do a long walkway. But mine's haven't been for DJing. Mine's has been for me either playing drums or keyboards or taking my students to perform. So Tracy is my coordinator. She tells me what to do all the time. So that's what that's supposed to be.
Well, she's not only his coordinator, she's his MC, everything. I mean, so he's back there just playing music. That's the easiest job he wants.
But they work together. It's TBM Productions, so they charge more because they provide more services. So
he has the best thing going there because Tracy's on top of things. She knows the venue. She talks to the venue manager. He can rely on her so much, which is great. I mean, we're relying on we're relying on strangers that most wedding coordinators, we don't know them. Maybe until we do 1 or 2 weddings with them, then we get to know them, and then we feel very comfortable with them.
How come you just don't call your wedding coordinator ahead of time?
Because couples don't list the wedding coordinators down on the paper, or they hire the wedding coordinator after they book me. And they gave all my information to the wedding coordinator. They gave him my business card. They gave him my Facebook page. They gave him my phone number.
Even when you call the couple, you don't get any kind of clue that they have somebody working on.
No, honestly, and I'll ask them. I'll have at least 6 meetings with them before their wedding, and there was times that couples didn't hire a wedding coordinator till a month before their wedding. I'm like, you just gave this person $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month before your wedding. Well, Mike was getting overbearing for me. Like, well, you could have picked up the phone and called me. I would have helped you out 1, 2, 3. I wouldn't charge you $3,000, $4,000 to answer a few questions for you. Call up your bakery or call up your florist for you. I mean, that's what some of the wedding coordinators around here do. That they thrive on stuff like that.
Yeah, because
I
was going to say I try to I got to make sure next time not to ride my motorcycle because this little piece of hair that keeps sticking up is like aggravating. I keep seeing it. It's almost like a toupee. If you see me patting my hair, I'm trying to like pat this stuff because it's aggravating. That's why I try to, if it's no more than a check-in or just to say what's up with my couples when we have like, there's some months before the wedding after they book me, I at least try to check in and see how things are going. So therefore, if I get that inkling that they're under stress, I can kind of like help them out or give them pointers to try to talk them back down. But because it's like, I can't imagine not knowing that there's a wedding coordinator till you walk in.
I actually, on my contract, I have now, I am not your babysitter. You must keep in contact with me. Because I had couples in the past that booked me a year and a half in advance, sent me their deposit, and a month before their wedding, they're sending me their contract. I'm like, a couple of them, I actually booked another wedding on top of it. And they're like, well, no, that's our date. I said, no, I'm sorry. Here's my contract. You signed it, you dated it, you initialed each page. And the little thing I have on the bottom is that you read and understood everything that is on this page. They read it, they initialed it, They dated it. Yeah, that's my whole contract. And it's on every page of the contract. You didn't get back to me. You didn't send me this contract back in the fashion that's mentioned on the contract. It's supposed to be back to me 2 weeks after signing. You're presenting to me now today, a month before your wedding? I'm sorry.
Yeah, see, that goes back to making sure after you talk to them and all that stuff, having the next steps. Because in my contract and all that stuff, I shouldn't say my contract. It is in my contract, but definitely in my follow-up text messages, where I usually say, it was nice talking to you and all this. Here's your next steps. And just remember, your date is not locked in until the contract and the retainer is paid. So I say something like that in the blurb, so therefore they'll know. And then if I don't get a response or a signed contract or the retainer within like a couple of days to a week, then I send another follow-up saying, remember that your date is not locked in until XYZ is done. So therefore they know.
Mine is 14 days. After you receive the contract, you have 14 days to get me the retainer fee and the contract back. Sometimes I got the retainer fee, but I didn't get the contract. And I'll text them or I'll call them and say, hey, you got your contract prepared for me? Yeah, I'm like, we're working on it. What's there working on? You sent me a retainer fee. All it is just giving me the date, the time, the place, everything. We talked about it already in our initial conversation. How hard is it to put it down on a piece of paper? And it didn't happen that often. It happened 3 times. And the couples were like, oh yeah, it's our fault. You know, they were undecided on what venue they were going to go to. They had already booked one venue and then they decided on another venue. Now they couldn't get their money back from this venue. So they had legality fightings with that venue. I'm like, listen, I don't care if you just want to lock in that date with me. I don't care where you're having it at. Get me the contract back. You don't have to put down what venue you're having. You just put a question mark there. But this will lock in your date for you. But if you don't, I'm sorry. You could come to me that month, that week, and say, Mike, here's my contract. Guess what? I'm sorry, I'm booked for that day. They're like, but we would pay your retainer fee. That's fine. Read the contract that you have in your hand. You signed and dated it. Done. And the thing is, they signed and dated it for the date that we met, which was a year prior to the date of their wedding.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that goes back to why certain people price themselves a certain way so they don't have to deal with those kind of clients.
These were expensive weddings, Dwayne. They weren't $1,000, $1,500 weddings. They were $3,000, $4,000 weddings, and these people made over $100,000 a year, but they think I had to cater to them. No, I'm not catering to nobody. I'm my own business owner. Guess what? You want to deal business with me? Then deal business with me. You want to give me a line of baloney? I don't want it. That's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm just going because that's a whole different.
If you give me $1,000 retainer, and then a month from now or 2 days from now, you call me and say, hey, Mike, I canceled my wedding. Yeah, congratulations. Do I get my retainer back? No. Why? Read the contract, paragraph 2, section A. Oh, I didn't read that there before. I'm like, oh, you didn't?
But
well, look down the bottom. You initial dated and everything.
But I'm saying if your retainer is $1,000, that means the remaining balance is going to be up there. So you're going to be making a few $1,000s. So I'm like, therefore, I want to see what's the big deal with just reaching out and then just compensating with them. At least show gratitude that they putting out that kind of money on your services.
I did that in the past, Wayne, and I got burned so many times. 23, going 24 years. And believe me, the knowledge that I have of dealing with people, and it just, you get to a point, you say, to yourself, either they're going to work with me, fine. If they're not going to work with me, that's fine too. I'm not kissing anybody's butt for their money to DJ their services. I'm putting my DJ services out there for them. They want me, they'll book me. End the story. I just got tired of chasing, being like they say some attorneys are ambulance chasers. I'm tired of chasing people around after they sign the contract with me, or we're going to get back to you, but they give me a retainer fees thinking that that's going to hold me. No, you have to get me the contract back to end the story. You know, it's just.
So how did they give you the retainer fee?
We met. I gave them the contract. I gave them the wedding planner, everything. I said, well, you want to fill up the contract here today? No, I'm like, we'll get that back, but here's the retainer. They gave me a check.
That don't make sense, though.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense. It's like you're sitting right there, right with them. Well, oh, we're in a hurry. We're doing some food shop. Or we have somewhere to go, blah, blah, blah. We'll get it back to you. I'm like, okay. Yeah, and then, like I said, it has to be back to me within 14 days. And I will make the effort once to reach out to them. I'll text them. The best way is texting. Don't phone call them because they'll say, oh, I never got it. Oh, I deleted my my voicemail, blah, blah, blah. You text them. You have you black and white. You have proof right there that you text them. You made the effort to reach out to them. If they don't want to respond to your text message, that's on them. You know, it's just sad. To me, it's they have money to throw away.
Yeah, I'm like, no, it goes back to it's not involving changing your practices, because if it's digital and they can do it quickly online and all that stuff, you'll get your stuff back quicker. But still, at the same time, it's like I wouldn't accept the money if they can't sign the contract.
I'm accepting it. Their promise was they were going to get the contract to me within 2-3 days. That was it. Okay. I had a lady I emailed my contract to. This was last summer. Within minutes, I got the contract back. Boom. I sent her the PDF file. She filled in everything, sent it right back to me. The next day she met me. She wanted to pay me in full for the wedding. I said, listen, no, just give me 25% down. And then we only have 3 months from the wedding. I was fortunate. I was open that it was a Sunday, which was, you don't usually have a wedding on a Sunday in the fall, but her brother lived in New York State and they wanted to get married back here. So she gave me the deposit. She wanted to pay me in full. I'm like, no, just give me 25%. Well, a week later, she calls me back. She wants her retainer fee back. Well, she didn't say that. She came out. She goes, Mike, I got some bad news. I said, okay, what's that? She goes, my brother and sister-in-law, she's my sister-in-law, opted to go to the Guitar Center and rent some equipment from there. I said, oh, okay. I said, well, please pass on, congratulations to your brother and to your future sister-in-law. And I'm so happy for them. And she said, okay. She says, when can I meet you? I'm like, meet me for what? She goes, to get my retainer fee back. I'm like, the moment you pay me, that moment the money switches hands, that's it. You don't get that money back. I'm sorry. It's right in my contract. This lady, and first of all, she is, I know that the photographer that was doing the wedding, he called me up personally. He said, Mike, this wedding, you could charge them $6,000-$7,000. They are so wealthy. He said they're sickening rich. I'm like, okay. I gave him a fair price. I didn't go that high. I gave him a fair price. And she belittled me so bad on the phone. It was unbelievable. I said, listen, sweetheart, look at page 2. Look at paragraph 2. Look at section, whatever section it is. Read that to me out loud. So she read it to me. I said, okay, now down the bottom. Is that your initials there? Yeah. Is that the date there? Yeah. Can you read that sentence that's there? So she read it. She goes, I didn't see that there before. I said, well, it didn't magically appear. I'm sorry. That was there the day you initialed and dated it. End the story. I mean, you have to be a businessman. You have to protect yourself, because if you're going to go out and, I'm going to contact the people back again, more or less you're kissing their butts. No, they want to do business with you. They're doing business with you. You go to these multi-ops, they walk in, they give the the deposit down, again, the multi-ops are charging double, triple of what we're charging, and they're getting it. It's
You know,
how?
but I was getting ready because I wanted to move on, but basically it goes back to your sales presentation. Because if you're doing your sales presentation correctly and you putting everything out there, then if you get to the point of a contract and a retainer, they already made up their mind that they're going to go with you. But it seems like, because it's like if you get a bunch of pushback and all that, it just seemed like somewhere in your consultation, that discussion, something wasn't clearly stated. And
it's clearly stated. It's right there. And I tell them, you have 14 days to get this back to me. If you don't get this back to me, this is null and void. Your retainer fee stays with me.
But I'm saying,
like we know that.
But at the same time, they're going to give up their time to go meet with you. It's like, it's something is missing, and I can't put my finger on it. It's like, it's almost like it sounds like buyer's remorse. A lot of this.
It's missing, Dwayne. Ever since COVID, people have this premonition or whatever you want to say that we could do what we want to do and guess. How can you say? Nothing happening back to them. Like if we do this, we could get away with it. If we do that, we could get away with it. If Mike wants our business, yeah, we told him we're going to book him. Yeah, we gave him our retainer fee. If he really wants us, he's going to keep contacting us. No, I'm not. And it's in my contract.
Y'all, it's something missing. I don't want to have a backwards and forth thing.
No.
Because it's like, it's something.
Then you have people that are so happy, man, that they're giving the retainer fee. They're signing the contract right then and there. And it's like, great. It's awesome when you deal with people like that. And the majority of my clients are that way, but just that there's a handful that they're just so absent-minded, and they're educated people. That's a killer. It's like, what's going on with your mind, All
right. And then Nuke says, I'm spoiled because every coordinator I've worked with has been a team player, and we have been working together for years because of this. It's also how I get a lot of weddings, and that's what I'm hoping for with the one that I'm working with next week.
When you get in with a great wedding coordinator, honestly, it makes your job so much easier. And 9 times out of 10, they may be working for that venue. They may have their job is through that venue, or maybe a couple of venues. But once you get in with them, and if they're the right type of wedding coordinator that does everything the right way, your job as a DJ, or even if you were the photographer or videographer, they make your job so much easier. It's like, wow, why can't every wedding be like this? It's like, it's unbelievable,
Yeah, but you get what you pay for.
Well, and not what we pay for. It's what the client's paying for.
Yeah. But he said, are we going to talk about DJ setups? And then he said, a Nuke says, my coordinator does everything, including dispersing my money as well as the other vendors, and consistently updates me through the whole process, including copying them in the emails.
Oh, definitely. Yep. That's a great wedding coordinator. I mean, I've worked with some great ones, and then I worked with some that were, where did they crawl out from under what rock? Let me see, But there are a lot of great wedding coordinators around here that I love working with them. And honestly, most of the venues around here, the owner is the coordinator. So they'll go right with me through everything. But then you get these couples that hire an outside coordinator that isn't associated with that venue. And then the venue manager or owner is like, Mike, what's up? What's this person doing? It's like, hey, listen, I just met this person. They're telling me they're the wedding coordinator. I'm like, yeah, they told me that too. I had no idea of it. So it's just like, They didn't even tell the venue.
Again, it goes back to, are they a real wedding coordinator or are they just that by name? Because if they were a real coordinator, everybody would have been in a loop because they would have had been contacted way before the venue.
Well, the thing is today's world, there's a lot of scamming going around. You know, I know, we all know it. And people are getting scammed on the computers. People are getting scammed with different things in life. This is probably one of the easiest scamming things to do. Yeah, I'm a wedding coordinator. I used to DJ for 20 years. I gave that up. I'm just going to coordinate weddings now. Beautiful. Oh my God, Mike, nice to meet you. And then you start talking. Well, what's your services? Well, here's what we do for you. And it's going to cost you $5,000. No problem. They send you the check. That's it. And you just.
But see, it goes. But see, that's the missing piece. People are not doing their due diligence and not asking questions scammers. Because you can anybody can say I'm this or that, and then my price. But then, why isn't that person, the consumer, asking questions to check to see if things are lining up?
A lot of times they will, and if they're a good scammer coordinator, and not just saying coordinators, it could be a DJ, it could be a photographer. Some photographers are scammers. Some DJs are scammers. You know, they know what to say, how to say it, and when to say it, and they make everything. They do everything. They put the icing on top of the cake, and they top it with the cherry. And man, this sounds so great. We're gonna have a great time at our wedding. And then all of a sudden they show up, and the DJ that they hired isn't there. But I'm working for that DJ. You are? Since when? You know, like my question would be, you know, do you work for yourself? Do you have any other DJs that work with you? No, I work for myself. Well, when you show up at a wedding and you show up at your wedding and there's all of a sudden another DJ there, why is he there? What happened to the original DJ? Was there a death in the family? What? I mean, what kind of emergency? Oh no, I work for him. You do? You know, so I mean, and that has happened more times than once here, believe me.
Right. Yeah, I'm just going to let's go down this chat because that's you just remember this is just like being a church musician because we all have, even though we may not talk to each other, but the circle of church musicians is small when you really think about it, and you go around screwing around and church hopping and doing bad business, it gets around. And you get, and that name follows you. So you can scam all you want to. That's only going to work one or two times because eventually that's going to follow you within that clique, and you're going to have to go somewhere else and do the same scam.
Yes, you hit the nail right on the head. I mean, there was two DJs in this area, and I'm not just saying Wilkes-Barre area. I'm saying in northeastern Pennsylvania. They went by a one name. They were scamming people out of money. Boom, they closed down. Then all of a sudden they open up under a new name. They hired DJs to work for them, but they're the actual owner of the business. They had the DJs go out and meet the clients and stuff like that, sign the contracts and everything. And they were just scamming people out of their money. It's so sad. I mean, today's world is moving in such a high pace, in such a fast-flowing environment. You want to get stuff done. You want it done yesterday, instead of sitting down, talking with the client, talking with the business owner. You know, back and forth. It's so much better if you could sit down and just talk to the owner, being with the owner in a never meet at your house. Never, always meet at a public place. So okay, you go to a coffee shop or whatever, but you're sitting down with that client. You're talking to them. You're getting to know them. From the first meeting up until their wedding day, I keep in contact with them. You know, once they book me, I'm theirs. They come, Mike, we're having a little problem. We meet, yeah, no problem. You know, as long as I'm open that day or that time that they want to meet, I'll be there, no problem. My heart goes out to every client. I give them 1,000% of my time.
But you say you don't chase them though.
No, I don't chase them. If they give me the retainer and they don't sign the contract, I'm not chasing them. They have 14 days to get that back to me. I will not chase them. I have in there, I am not your babysitter. You must contact me. You must keep in contact with me. If you book me a year and a half out at events, at least every 3 to 4 months, say, Mike, we're doing this and we're doing that with our wedding, blah, blah, blah. That's great. Then I have clients that continuously call me. You know, it's like, oh my God, another call from this person. But they're so nervous. They don't understand the aspects of a wedding.
Yeah,
And they're getting overwhelmed because one of their bridesmaids are pushing stuff on them. A brother-in-law or sister-in-law or mother-in-law or father-in-law are pushing stuff down their throat. I'm there to listen. I'm there to help. I'm there to talk to that person that's giving you the trouble. I'm not the person that's going to go out and keep calling you and talking to you. You have to call me. I'm here for you. You book me, I am here for you. Believe me.
Yeah, it's like, it sounds like some things need to be updated. But let's go on to the.
Wait, honestly, I've been doing this for 23 years.
But you're doing 23 years the same way and never changed. That was the whole
making
point.
money.
Just because you make money don't mean that you're doing it right. It's just like.
If I wasn't doing it right, why would people keep booking me then?
But you keep having horror stories though.
Believe me, I have more beautiful stories to tell you. But I want to get the horror stories out to people that are thinking about getting into the DJ business, just to be aware of what to do and what to look out for.
No, it's about telling them to do it right the first time, then they want to experience that.
You know, you could paint such a beautiful picture and say, oh yeah, DJ Will is so great, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And this person that might be thinking about becoming a DJ goes get into it, and all of a sudden they start having these horror things happening to them. You're like, why do they say this is so good? Why is this happening to me when it shouldn't be happening to me? I want to give you,
because you're not doing it right. You're not.
No, they might be doing it the right way, but they might be meeting the wrong client. That's the thing.
Because you're marketing to the wrong client. Because you're marketing the wrong way.
Well, you have to look. Every area has a different form of marketing. I can't market myself the way Buddy markets himself in Chicago. Buddy can't market himself the way DJ Sally markets herself in Connecticut. Every market's a different market. We all have to market ourselves accordingly to our market area. Now, you say you're usually driving an hour and a half, did you say, to the venue? Me, the furthest I drive basically is 20 minutes. That's basically it. I mean, I have.
But then you just hit the nail on the head. You said you have to market to the people that's going to get you jobs. So, and then driving 90 minutes away isn't anything. So therefore, I charge accordingly to make it worth my time. If people are going to pay that, I'd rather do that as opposed to not do gigs here because it's so.
If I can make the same amount of money in my market area, why am I going to drive 90 minutes away?
But who said I make the same amount of money? I just made that point. I just made that point. Why I'm going to go if it's easier for me to make that kind of money and more here? Because you remember, I'm just starting out trying to get my foot in the door. So it's not like I've been saying I've been doing this for 23 years and stuff. So I'm just getting my foot in the door. But one thing I am finding out, there's a lot of people doing things wrong. So therefore, it's just a moment. Time is ticking on them before I move in on their market and take their little positions because they're still doing everything wrong and still doing things like the way they've been doing it way back when.
But you know how many other DJs are thinking the same way you're thinking?
But they can think the same way. But they gotta remember, they're not Hitman. I'm that guy. That's the big difference. We all can be doing the same thing, but see, they're not that guy.
I understand, but like you said, you're traveling 90 minutes because you are making more money out of your area. Your market area is a lower paying area. My market area it's a moderate paying area. It's you can make some good money here, or you could take, I'm not going to say tire kickers, because Dwayne, don't forget where you came from. You took that tire kicker, didn't you? You took $700 weddings, right?
And I also mentioned this, I don't know how many times, but I also mentioned this how many times. I took the tire kicker events, and at the end of the day, I'm like, man, I did all this work I don't feel fulfilled. So why am I going to keep dealing with the tire kickers?
Well, the thing is, I don't call them tire kickers. I will take that person that's having a wedding at American Legion, at a VFW, at a certain price. But guess what? They're not getting all the glamour and glory that this other wedding's going to get. There's no possible way. But they're not tire kickers. They are the ones who put me where I am at today. But
that's a difference. You have tire kickers are those that you just said they're scammers out there. Who they're referring to when they say tire kickers. Those that's looking for a lot for nothing.
Yeah. Well, that's like this new thing that's flying around here is the micro weddings. Micro weddings. What the hell, it's only 40, 50, 60 people. Yeah, that's basically a wedding is now after that virus. But I'm not giving you a micro price because you only having 40 people there or 50 or 60 people there. Is the venue giving you a discount on the food? Oh no, Mike. Well, how you expect me or the photographer to give you a discount? Well, because it's a micro wedding. Well, the venue still has to make money. So do I.
But who are you marketing to? Because this is one thing I've noticed. I'm seeing a lot of those kind of posts too, but I don't respond to those posts because they use budget verbiage all in their posts. So if you respond to them, of course you're going to get that kind of client.
The one I responded to, they were having their wedding at a very, very exclusive golf resort, which is $500 a plate.
Yeah, but they said they want a budget wedding. A budget DJ. Right? So
they just said they were looking for a DJ because they're having a micro wedding. And when they listed where they're having the wedding, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll give them a call. And when I gave her my price, she's like, oh my God, I didn't think it would be that much for a micro wedding. I said, well, you're paying $500 a plate. You do the mathematics, that's $20,000. Right? So you want to pay the venue $20,000, but you only want to pay me $700? No, that ain't gonna fly. I told her, good luck. I'm trying to find a DJ that'll give accept your $700 payment. You ain't getting that from me. I'm sorry. End the story. It was like.
Again, I'm lost. I gotta rewatch. Rewatch the videos to see why I'm missing.
They're willing to pay the venue $20,000 for food, but they only want to pay the DJ $700. They want a micro price on the DJ, but they're not willing to pay. They're willing to pay the venue whatever they want. It's just unfortunate that this scam is going around now, and there are some DJs falling for it. I'm like, why? Oh, Mike, it's money in my pocket. Yeah, I understand that. But they're paying this price for the food, they're paying this price for the venue, and they just chop your head off because now they got you for nothing.
So that goes right back to Kevin's question. You just said you can't charge somebody X number of money, but you just contradicted that.
You can't charge them because it's hot in the venue, because their air conditioner broke. I want to go back to the place if they didn't have air conditioning. Man, sorry.
But you just said you just down a DJ taking a cheap job. Why not charge more? So it's like, what's the difference?
Well, if this place is charging $500 a plate for food, right? And you have 40 people coming, that's $20,000 that they're paying just for the food. That ain't for the rental of the venue either. That's just for the food now, Dwayne. There's $20,000, and they're probably paying another $20,000 to $30,000 for the venue. So now you're talking $50,000. Now all of a sudden they put it out on Facebook, and other places that they're looking for a DJ for a micro wedding. Fine. You call them up. Where's your venue? They tell you. You know, they had their venue listed there. So I knew automatically what the price was going to be, what they were paying. But they want us as a micro price. They want the photographer as a micro price. But everything else is high price because they want looking good in front of their friends. They're having so-and-so DJ, they have so-and-so photographer, and we're having it at this so-and-so high-class golf resort. But guess what? Then the DJ just turned around saying, well, I only made $700 on this gig. Well, why did you take it? Well, it's a micro wedding. Doesn't matter. The venue, everybody else, except for the photographer and the DJ. That's what these people got to realize. These DJs, photographers, got to realize that these couples are paying high prices for their venues.
Then you charge what you're worth. Bottom line, charge what you're worth. So if you think you're only worth $500, as our friend, only do it for peanuts and stuff, that's on them. But you need to go in and charge what you're worth.
What you're worth. I mean, you could go in, and I seen DJs charge astronomical fees and walk in. They have a big facade up in front of them, and that's it. And then they have a computer with a wire being going into their earphones on their computer, coming out to a box and going out to their speakers. They have no control. They have no mixer, no nothing.
Let me hip you all to what's going on. A trend that I'm seeing. Couples are asking for social proof. You need to make sure that your Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is, make sure it's on point and it's current and it's showing you actually DJing. It's showing you actually doing a party. Some couples, just like the one that I got Friday, that person just came out and said, here's some songs. I want to see you mix these songs. Yeah. You have to show something. So therefore, that plain pretend DJing thing, if they hired that person, that's on them for not doing their homework.
I think what happened, people just got sick and tired of these people, like in our intro, people are getting computers, and all of a sudden they're a DJ. People are buying DSLR cameras, and all of a sudden they're a photographer. That's in our intro. That's the thing.
That's what you said.
Yeah, that's the thing. But it's in our intro. And the thing is, people are doing that, and they are getting away with it. And then after the event, the client's going, I paid X amount of dollars for this.
Did you do your homework?
Yeah, exactly. The clients didn't do their homework. You know,
so that's on the clients. That's the client's fault.
Yeah. I had a bride and groom that wanted to book me. I gave them my price. And the bride said, Mike, my mom's paying for the wedding. She wants to talk to us. Yeah, no problem. So the mom called me back, and she asked me, she was, well, can you do any better on the price? I said, no. That is my best price I could give you. 2 days later, she calls back. She says, well, I talked to a couple of DJs, and they gave me a price of this. Can you match the price? I said, no. The price I gave you is the price I gave you, and that is
tire kickers. That's the true definition of what a tire kicker is.
This one is a definite tire kicker. She came back again that following day. She goes, well, Mike, I got another price off another DJ. He's offering a little bit more. But this is his price. It's well below your price. Can you match his price? I said, listen, ma'am, do me a favor. Book that DJ. I don't want to hear from you again. This is my price. I gave you my price. End the story. Well, she booked that DJ. Comes to the wedding day. Bride and groom walk in, like prior to the grand entrance, and the DJ's there. Guess what he has? He has a home stereo system, a Panasonic with a 5 CD changer, and he has 2 lights from Walmart. And the mother went ballistic. She flipped out. She's like, "Where's all your equipment that you have on your Facebook and on your Instagram account?" He said, "That's all just photos that I downloaded off the internet. It's just, I use that for my business. That's all." He said, "I don't need any of that equipment." I'm like, well, guess what? That's why you got that $1,000 DJ, because you didn't do your homework. You were too cheap to pay for regular DJ services. And now look what you got. You got a guy sitting there with 2 lights from Walmart.
You just lost me again.
She went with she thought she was getting a great DJ because she went by his social media page. He had all these photos up there of beautiful equipment.
All right, we gotta wrap this up, because you that story alone, you just jumped.
No, I mean, but see, she didn't do her homework, Dwayne. She wanted the bottom price, but she didn't do her homework. She just seen pictures and images from this DJ's photo, from his Facebook and Instagram account, and she thought she was getting the best thing since sliced bread. And guess what? She got boned in the end. You know?
No, she couldn't have thought she was getting the best prices if she's trying to get you all to lower your prices each DJ pinning y'all against each other. So she knew she got what she was looking for. So going back to Buddy. Buddy said, we just had tornadoes here in Chicago. One just north of me had 13 confirmed here in Chicagoland. And let me see. Buddy also said they do a lot of work. One wedding last year, we have 3 of our employees working the wedding. They even had to take out trash and charge for it. And I went back. Let me see. I guess when they commented, oh yeah, he's also said Tracy walks 6 to 8 miles at a gig. And then A Nuke says, y'all really need to get out of that area or something. And then Buddy says the venues there are still packed. And at Nuke, yeah, what is your socials? I would like to follow you. Let me see. And then Kevin said, venue's been working other events here because it's slow.
I seen DJs taking jobs, just doing bar gigs for $100, just so they can make some money. Buddy, I'm glad you have a 5-figure country club this week, and mine's 6 figures. So I don't go pat myself on the back by where I'm DJing at. I'm sorry, buddy. I don't care if it's a VFW like you mentioned in the comments, or if it's a 6-figure place or a 7-figure place. I'm there for the couple. That's it.
And Nuke says weddings are down, period, because of the fact that folks are not getting out to meet each other. Liquor sales are down bad, and so is socializing. Luckily, I'm still booked, but it's neck work 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of my when I say my people around in my area, yeah, there's not too many weddings. They believe in hooking up. So
honestly, like going back to the beer sales and stuff, a lot of the VFWs, not just VFWs, private clubs like Polish American Vets, American Legions, they're booking vendors now. Like they're booking DJs, they're booking bands from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock, really 4 to 8 on a Saturday. They're not having a Friday gig no more because they're closed by 9:30. Before American Legion, the Polish American Vets, the VFW, they were open. You have a private club like that, you don't have to make last call at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock here in Pennsylvania. If you have a private club, you can make last call at 3 a.m. and you have to be closed by 4 a.m. If you're an open bar to the public, your last call has to be at 1:45, and everybody has to be out of there by 2:45. But today, public bars, they're closed by 8:30. Private clubs, they're closed by 9 o'clock, basically 9:30 the latest. I mean, it's changed so much. And so again, now DJs can't even get some gigs at these places, or if they do, they're taking the gig and it's right in the middle of the day, like from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. or from 5:30 to 8:30. It's weird hours now. It's like, man, I remember going DJing at the American Legion. It'd be from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. So basically, I had my whole day and my whole evening to do what I wanted to do, and boom, just go there and play music. Set up 1, 2, 3, and because in a bar, you don't have to set up that much stuff. You don't have to kill yourself with all this lighting and stuff. You're going there. You don't have no scripts to go by. You're playing music for them. That's it. And going back to, like you said, to your couples, they're hooking up. Yeah, that's what they're doing. I mean, people are still getting married, but they're not getting married I can't say they're not getting married the traditional way. They're not having a traditional wedding ceremony or wedding reception as we know it, as it used to be 10 years ago.
All right. So let's go ahead. I see Diego's in the chat. DJ Pretty Boy from Start to Spin. And Buddy said, don't be the same as all the other DJs. This is why I always say, tell customers how you are different.
Well, that's why I try to post what I do on social media, and they can see how different I am than other DJs. Yeah, right there, it shows the difference between me and somebody's just getting into the game of it. I
wouldn't compare, but still, that's not. Why would you compare yourself to somebody lower than you? You should. I'm like, let's.
I don't compare myself to anybody. Honestly, that's one of the worst things a person can do. I don't care if you're a DJ, if you're a photographer, if you're a football player, baseball player, if you're a coach, whatever. Never compare yourself to anybody else. You are who you are. That's it. If you suck at what you're doing, you're going to suck at what you're doing.
Yeah, somebody just did a thing. Who did a video or... Oh, that was... I'll talk about him at the end of the show. That was on his show. He's a good person to kind of like watch. I'll talk about him. He had just talked about comparing yourself to other DJs and stuff.
I see so many videos of DJs. They're trying to imitate this DJ, imitate that DJ. I mean, be yourself. You cannot imitate. I mean, yeah, you can imitate that person, but are you that person? No. There's no possible way. Best thing is to go out there, be yourself, do what you got to do. And if you're not that good at what you're doing, but you do have the potential to get better, keep practicing. Keep doing it. Don't give up just because a couple things went wrong for you at a gig or whatever. Sometimes you have to practice a little bit more. Sometimes it comes naturally to people. I mean, there's times that you get a person that excels in public speaking and could talk to anybody, get up in front of any amount of crowd, and then you get a person that that person went to school for it. And then you get this person that never went to school for it and just gets up and speaks from the heart over a lot more than the person that got their doctorate degree in public speaking. Like, really? It just, you can't be that person. Don't try to be that person. Just be who you are. And if you're not hitting it, reflect on what you're doing, and then just practice at that. That's it. I mean, you have to, first of all, you have to love what you're doing. And you can't think that you're the best at what you're doing. You can't put yourself up to standards of what other DJs are, whatever profession you're in. Photographer, doctor, I'm the best surgeon. Maybe for your area, I don't know. I have no idea. But you're not the best. There's somebody's always out there better than you. And if you think you're the best, guess what? Get the heck out of the business because you don't belong there because you're already the best. Let somebody else take over now.
Yep. So let's go on because a lot of the comments to sum it up.
Smash that like button.
A lot of the comments said, yeah, DJs need to expand. They also need to evolve. And it's just like what DJ Reese said on our show. if you want to, sometimes you might have to leave your little circle or location to go and get paid or get treated, at your worth. And then just charge accordingly.
The thing is, like Will's wedding, I said this past weekend, he had a lengthy drive. Where he had a drive-through, where his location was at, was basically out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm very familiar with that area. And honestly, that area has that part of Pennsylvania, most of the people go up to New York State to work. There's only a few places that they can come here in Pennsylvania to work for. It's very, I don't want to say a desolate area, but the jobs are very far and few in between. Most of the people are driving an hour and a half to work for 15, 20 bucks an hour. And it's sad, but here they have Will doing their wedding and stuff, and he did a great job at it. You could go to so many different areas. Like here, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton area. You have, I'm not going to call them tire kickers. You got people that want to have a nice DJ and have a nice wedding, but can't afford that $7,000 DJ or $4,000 DJ. As long as they're straight up in front with me, I'll be straight up in front with them, and I will work with them. If they're a person that's trying to scam me, scam a photographer, guess what? I'll just tell them like it is. I'm sorry. Good luck. Move on. I'm not doing business with you.
All right.
You can see right through those people.
There was a couple ones. So Entertainment's in the chat. I'd like to welcome him back. He says, I gave a good discount on my last wedding. A week later, I got contacted by a friend of the bride, and she wants to book me in May 2027. And that goes back to what a nuke been saying about networking and all that.
Yeah. I think there he gave him a great discount, and he gained a wedding from it. You hear some DJs say, "Don't give a discount." In this case, it proved that person that's saying don't give a discount, proved them wrong, because he gave a discount and he picked up another gig from it. I mean, you got in today's world, you got to benefit from what's there in front of you. If you're not benefiting from it, guess what? You're done. I mean, the economy sucks. Everything is really getting bad. So we have to adjust. If we don't adjust, guess what? We're going to cease to exist too. Our business is going to cease to exist too. You can't think, well, I have these type of lights and I got these type of speakers. I'm going to charge this price. Well, 2-3 years ago, yeah, you're able to do that. Now the economy is tanking, and guess what? You may have to readjust your prices, but instead of going up, you might have to go down in your price just to keep a certain clientele that's usually up here. You may have to drop your prices down for them because the venues are adjusting their prices. They're going cheaper. Photographers are just adjusting their prices. They're going cheaper too. So it's a hard sell because we're in it to make money. We're in it to, anybody that's in business is in it to make money. But you can also price yourself out of your own business too. That's all I can say.
Yeah, but it all goes back to marketing again. And then Diego had made a couple of good comments. He said, venue prices should not influence your prices. And then he had said something about the way you perform, making sure if you're charging X amount of money, then your performance and your technique and your customer service level should be up there.
Well, to Diego, on what a venue charges should not reflect your price. Well, if a client is willing to pay $500 a plate and you're only going to charge $2,000 for that wedding, they just got themselves a sucker. That's all I could say. You have to charge accordingly to the venue. Excuse me. If you don't, guess what? It's just going to kill you in the end. Because
But then that's still going again. You just said Kevin shouldn't charge because of the heat. You just said because of the venue it costs this amount of money, so therefore you should charge more.
How can you charge because of weather conditions, Dwayne?
How can you charge because of a venue? You just said because a venue costs this amount of money, amount of money for a plate. Therefore, you should overcharge for your services. It's
not overcharge. You have to charge accordingly. And if this venue does not want to upgrade their air conditioning equipment, then why are you taking a job there? Why?
Because maybe he needs the money. There are some people that's relying on their DJing for their household income.
That I have to go to this place and they don't have no air conditioning. Now I'm going to have to charge them. No, don't be crying about it. Plain and simple. If you don't,
but at the same time, you bring in more equipment, you're doing more work. So let's go on because to
me that's you want the best of both worlds. You want the gig because you need the money, but I want to charge more because they don't have the right air conditioning. You cannot tell the venue what to do. You cannot tell the venue how to run their business.
You do it. You said it the whole show.
I'm not telling them how to run their business. I'm running my business.
And everybody else's business.
If I'm going to a venue and I know they're charging what amount for per plate, then I know I have to adjust my price accordingly. It's nothing to do about heat. This is about a service. They are giving a great service.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying you charge accordingly to his service. In order to provide a service, he had to bring extra stuff to make sure he does his job and make sure his equipment fits that environment that he's DJing.
But from the beginning, I told you about that one venue. I will never go back there because I know what they do to their vendors, what they put them through, and I will never go back there again. End of story. I don't care. Like I said, if they give me $10,000 there to DJ for a 4-hour wedding, I'm not going back there. I mean, I can make great money for a 4-hour wedding, but if I'm going to go in there being treated like an animal, like I'm a nobody, why am I going back there? Why am I going to kiss this person's plain English ass to do this? No, nobody's going to belittle me.
You're talking about two different things again.
No, I'm not talking about two different things.
Yes, you are.
I want to make a point that he's crying because of the heat. He has to charge more money. I understand it's the heat is one thing. It's a factor, but he knows that factor already. Don't tell that to the customer. Well, I'm going to charge you more because of the heat.
He didn't say he was going. He didn't. No, that part he didn't say.
Well, you mentioned that he may have to charge more. Correct?
But he didn't come out and say, "Oh, well, I'm going to have to charge because of that." Who does that besides y'all? Nobody in their right mind is going to say that to another client, potential client.
I never tell a client I'm going to charge you more because of the heat. Believe me, I never tell a client I'm going to charge you more because I have to bring a heater with me because it's too cold. I bid the gig, I give them my price. If they accept it, fine. If they don't accept it, fine. If it's a place I do not want to DJ at and they call me up, I'm going to give them a price. I'm going to give them an astronomical price. And if
let's go on because you just proved my point. You just proved my point with that comment right there. All right, so we're gonna move on.
I don't want to DJ there. That's why I gave them an astronomical price. And that's the whole thing. Yeah,
Buddy says I was going to say that, and then I see Sean is in the chat. And then he says he have yet to met a VFW, American Legion, or a community center who can afford him.
Yeah, I mean, the place ain't gonna afford you, Sean.
Yeah, he says the same thing that we've been saying with the tire kickers.
Oh yeah, there are tire kickers out there. Believe me. Believe me.
I don't treat my thumbs up like participation trophies, buddy. Let me see. And then Diego said he's the best at what he does, so he charged accordingly.
Yeah, I mean, Diego, you are. Your videos are great. I mean, you do a great job. Again, the first thing we have to do is put our clients first. But we have to think of ourselves first too. You know, if I'm going to go into a place where I may get harmed, I'm not going to take the gig. I will just I'll tell the couple or person, I'm booked that day. End of story. Done. And move on. I'm not going to, how can I say, like, try to work a way around to say, well, okay, yeah, I need the money. I'm going to take the gig, but I'm afraid of going there. But I still do need the money. You know, if you put yourself in that predicament that you need the money that bad, then it's not about how you're doing business. It's about how you're basically living your life, you know?
Oh man, I can't believe you just made me do the people's eyebrow like The Rock. I couldn't after that comment.
I mean, if you're overextending yourself, Blaine, and now all of a sudden you're gonna say, I need this gig because I have these X bills to pay because I overextended myself. Guess what? Then you did something wrong. Yeah,
wait a minute. It's like, now let's move on because you're you're putting stuff out there and you adding to the story that's not totally correct. And I don't want to, because see, you're not the one that have to answer to when you throw shade at people and then people get offended. I'm the one that they always come to.
I will tell you a story about a DJ in my area. He overextended himself so much, it was unbelievable. He had to remortgage his house twice. Then his dad, who retired from the railroad, basically bailed him out $200,000 because he had to have the cold sparks. He had to have this. He had to have that. And he just kept on getting everything on credit.
But now I'm going to go on because see, you're comparing, I don't want you to say that. And I don't want people listening to the chat. And then, especially since you said names, to like throw that out because that's not what's going on with this person.
This is going out to this certain DJ that's in my local area.
But you come let's just move on. I want to just go on with that one.
Okay.
Because I don't want to have that's a thing I don't have to deal with after the show.
The reason I'm saying it is because you've seen these videos on YouTube. These DJs have sparkers, they have this, they have that. I'm charging this premium price because I have this stuff. All of a sudden they're going to run out and get it and think they're going to make that kind of money that this other DJ is making, but they're not, because this other DJ is in a totally different networking area.
No, yeah. we had this discussion on the show about it's all about having a business plan. You just like we had this thing about getting a website. Just because you get a website don't mean that you're going to get traffic there. There's other things that goes along with it.
Yeah,
so
I mean, again, there's a guy I know. He has, matter of fact, my one.
That's because he's doing it wrong. You keep highlighting people that's doing things wrong.
My buddy hired a person to do it for him, and he's paying monthly
because he's doing it wrong. He's doing it wrong. He didn't do his homework.
How come
he has no plan or
he has a person doing it for him. He has an actual advertising firm doing this for him.
Again, you mentioned just because you throw up advertisement and all these other titles doesn't mean that you're really that person. It's equivalent to a security guard at the mall or doing this little Jewish center over here calling himself the police. It's two different things.
No, wait. You're going out of context there. Do not mix up law enforcement with security.
No, I'm saying the same thing with what you're saying. That's because they put that on their title. Don't mean that they're actually that thing.
That's totally wrong there, Dwayne. Law enforcement agent is putting their life on the line continuously a security guard is punching in and punching out, and they don't have a weapon. They don't have nothing to protect themselves. I feel sorry for them if they do get injured.
There's a guy walking around here with a shotgun around his shoulder. So what you talking about?
But it's a security guard?
Yeah.
Oh, then they're lucky, and you're lucky in Ohio because security guards here in Pennsylvania are not allowed to carry weapons. They are not allowed to carry weapons. Not even a billy club. I'm sorry. They're not allowed to. The only ones that are allowed to, you have to have your weapons permit. You have to go through the Act 121. Basically, you are a police officer. You know, you're working for an agency. You're getting more than a regular security guard, but you cannot pull that weapon. The only time you can pull that weapon is just to protect yourself. You can't pull that weapon and say, hey, listen, hey, freeze, boom, boom, boom. No, that doesn't work. I mean,
let's just go ahead and let's wrap this because we're going to be going over semantics and all this other stuff. Clients, here's a comment. Clients consistently choose your competitors. If they consistently choose your competitors, you need to take an honest look at what you're doing and where you can improve. Oh yeah, talking about Dan. Yeah, I like Dan. I know him and his wife be having too much fun on their gig vlogs.
I love their videos. They're just such wholesome people. It's unbelievable.
Yep. And then I hope Diego is enjoying his buttered popcorn. And it's like what Kevin said, the same thing that I said. He wouldn't, certain things you don't tell the client. And he said he definitely wouldn't have told them that. Again, you're trying to sell the experience. Let me see. When do I have those on? I wouldn't do that. We have those on every come up here. Time. Oh yeah. So entertainment says time for bid. And let me go down and see, is there anything before we just head on out? Dun, dun. Great. Y'all tripping. I guess I picked the wrong week to wear my wrestling shirt. And I'm thinking that's
Pretty boy, yes. I mean, we have a lot of DJs in approximately 25 square mile radius. So yes, I know a lot of DJs. Yes, I know a lot of the business, and I know them personally. I know the photographers, videographers. They're starting to fall off. There's not many people that are hiring videographers today. They got the phone. They're taking videos with the phone. You know, even photographers are starting to fall off, and it's so sad because a phone can only capture so much, and it's not the same true thing as a photographer's camera. The photographer's camera, that lens has a depth of field. The phone doesn't. I'm sorry. It's just a flat image.
Okay. So with that said, let's head on out because we can ready to hit the 3-hour mark.
Already?
Mm-hmm. Because we hit the hot topic about wedding coordinators.
I worked with some. The one guy I worked with, he was so awesome. He was unbelievable. The poor guy had a nervous breakdown. They had to take him out of the position because he was so overly concerned of everything. I mean, everything had to be on point. If it was 601 introductions are going to be, if it was 60101, no, we're off now. We're 1 second off. I mean, it's like, well, but listen, you could be 1 second off. No, Mike, you can't. I mean, I felt so bad for him. He had a nervous breakdown, then he had a second nervous breakdown. He was such a great wedding coordinator. Nobody could fool him, which was great. That was an amazing thing. He could tell you the local DJs here that are good, that are and then the ones that are just in it for the money. And he came up, he told me stories. I'm like, oh my God, you gotta be, I don't know, Mike, you wouldn't believe it. I'm like, oh, well, you tell me this the third time you told me the story. It's not the same story. It's not the same couple. It's a different wedding. And I know this person DJ that wedding. I know they DJ the other wedding. And he told me exactly how they treated this couple not the couple, but just how they treated the event. I was like, oh my God, how could they get away with it? He said, well, like some DJs are, guess what? I'll never see that couple again. And that's how they practice, They just keep moving from one couple to another. And it's sad. I treat my couples with the utmost respect. I treat them the way I want to be treated. That's what it is.
All right. Where I was trying to see where a nuke. And then we'll head on out. Is it? No, it's a.
What are we chopping, Sean? Oh no, that's.
All right. So let's do our shout outs.
Where was our friend tonight?
Who? Oh, cool thing. I don't know.
He wasn't here tonight.
Yeah, he be on Facebook Live and all that other stuff all day, every day.
I seen him a couple times, and it comes up that he's waiting for me. I'm like, oh, can't do it now,
All right, so here's our chat leaderboard from last week. We had Cool Thing at the #1 spot. Big J DJ Service came in second. DJ Mikey Mike came in third. At Crash Weddings came in fourth. DJ Will came in fifth. The Shuffle Couple came in sixth. Followed by at Love Records Inc. Diego. DJ Pretty Boy came in seventh. And DJ Shay, the other half of the Start to Spin group, came in eighth. Maybe I should say the other third, since they got Kevin Sounds on there now. Buddy came in ninth at TBN Productions 1, and then at Soul Entertainment DJs came in 10th. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you join our Facebook group page, which is Cue It Up DJ Podcast, and you can join our public or private group. Just go to Facebook and type in the search browser, Cue It Up, and then join one of those groups. You can follow us on our socials. You can follow DJ Mikey Mike at DJ Mikey Mike on Twitter and Facebook, and at DJ Mikey Mike 45 on Instagram. And then you can follow me on all of my socials at HitmanDDub. And then our fade out message is: preparation creates confidence. Great DJs solve problems before they become problems. So that goes back to, where is this? Why is this up there? Allow.
I like Buddy's comment.
Yep. So before you give a quote, before you complain about it, before you assume you know what's going on, remember, there's always more to the story. Ask questions, prepare, and be ready to adapt.
Yes, definitely. And sometimes you walk into a situation that it happens because it's uncontrollable. Electricity could go out, transformer could go down, air conditioning unit could break, a heating unit could break. So that's something that a venue can't control. Mm-hmm. our equipment could break. What do we do then? You know, it's like, well, we always have to have a backup plan.
Mm-hmm. All right, so, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I want to wait till we're over. I want to talk to you real quick after this.
Okay. All right, so with that said, I hope everyone, thank you for coming. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the like button. And again, make sure you go out there and crush those gigs this weekend. See you next week. Oh, I forgot. We didn't do something. Because I don't have my script this week. I forgot to mention our DJ Collective Network, where it's one culture and many voices. Welcome to the Primetime DJ Lineup, a weekly schedule of live stream shows built for DJs by DJs. Whether you're just starting out or scaling your business, we got the knowledge, stories, and inspirations to help you level up. So on Mondays, it's the time to spin. For every DJ's chasing dreams, no matter the odds, it's your time to spend with DJ Cool Thing at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on his YouTube channel at DJ Cool Thing Official. And then on Tuesdays, join Buddy and his weekly guest of DJs for unfiltered conversations that matter. It's a DJ Roundtable with Buddy from TPM Productions. And you can join him live every Tuesday at 9 o'clock p.m. on Twitch. And his Twitch channel is, I had it. Oh, there it is. TPM Productions _Buddy. But if you missed the live broadcast, you can see the rebroadcast on his YouTube channel at TPM Productions DJ1 every Monday at 1 o'clock. And then on Wednesday, you can join DJ James King in the King's Court at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on his YouTube channel at James King HTX. And then he usually have a guest that comes in at 9 o'clock. And yesterday he had the guy from Maestro talking about more DMX. And then on Thursdays, you have the Cue It Up DJ podcast with me, the HitmanDDub, and DJ Mikey Mike at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on this YouTube channel at the HitmanDDub. And we usually go a couple of hours. And then we also have another podcast on Thursdays that start at 9 o'clock, and they go for about an hour or so. And it's called the Start to Spin DJ Podcast at La Ruckus Inc. YouTube channel. And it's hosted by DJ Pretty Boy and DJ Shay. And lately they've been having DJ Kevin Sounds. And then on Mondays, you can join Kevin on the KJ Chill Room karaoke chat with Matt and Eric. And you could join them live every Monday at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time just by going to djntv.com/KJ Chill. Then also you can follow our other friend at _DJ Reese _. He has the Recreate the Vibes podcast on YouTube and the No Stress Zone podcast on Facebook. And then this is this other person. I used to watch a lot of his videos when I decided that I wanted to elevate from being a bedroom DJ into doing weddings and all that. At the time, he was called DJ Flash. But after the pandemic, he goes by the name Jerry. Oh, I forget his DJ name. I got to ask him what his DJ name is. But he has something called the Woo Experience. And he goes live every Sunday at 9 o'clock. And you can join him live on his YouTube channel at the Woo Experience. And he has a lot of great information going on. I'm going to try to get him on the show eventually. And then also North Georgia Weddings, DJ Night Owl and Sean, he has this thing called the Mega Booth, which is $2,495. But if you use our Cue It Up code, you can get it for $500 off. And I finally got my booth together. So hopefully I'll be able to get my software going and start putting it to work. Then he also has this other thing called the video guest book, the Sigma video guest book, that's available for $795. That comes in red, black, and white. And then you can still see some helpful YouTube videos on his YouTube channel at DJ Biz School, where he talks about SEO, marketing, and websites. So make sure to remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channels. So with that said, I guess we can head on out now since it's getting late. So we don't have, the after party won't go too long.
Like I said, I wanted to pack up our vehicles before, and the rain just started coming down. And I don't see no lightning coming through the blinds now, but man, it was terrible here. Right when we started the show, well, prior to the show, and then when we started, it was like, I was praying that the power didn't go because my lights flickered a little bit. I'm like, oh no, please, please, no, you know? As I'm charging up my flashlight.
Mm-hmm. So it's been pretty quiet today. It just rained for a brief moment.
Oh, all day here it was hot and humid here all day, and I'm like, I know we're in for a nasty thunderstorm. And man, when the skies opened up, it was bad. The wind and everything was blowing so bad it was unreal.
Okay.
I just got hit. I just got hit up by cool thing on my Instagram. Cool thing. Time to spin. He's our buddy.
Okay. So let's head on out. Then we do the after show for a quick moment. Again, thanks for coming. Huh? I'm
gonna have to fly because I gotta get up real early. I gotta go set up. We're gonna be there by 10 o'clock to set up. We're gonna get up probably around 5:30, 6 o'clock. Oh, I'm gonna get up around 5:30, 6 o'clock. Get my son up at 7. Pack up the vehicles and fly up. We're only 10 minutes away from the house. Well, about 15 minutes away from the house, but they're letting us come in early to set up. I'm getting there early, coming back and relaxing the whole day. You know, take a nap and getting it done.
Okay.
I'll talk for a few minutes afterwards.
Okay. So with that said, I hope everyone again have a great weekend. Make sure you go out there and crush those gigs. And remember, before it's time to spin, you gotta first cue it up.
Yes. Practice and enjoy, everybody.
Before the lights, 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 before the packed dance floors, before the name, cue it up, would mean anything. Been hustling over 30 years, working every single day. Music wasn't just a job, it was built in my DNA. The journey wasn't overnight. Still figuring it out. There ain't no changing me. There ain't no changing me. I can only be me. The consistency stayed the same, even if they don't feel the same. 'Cause no matter how high I go, I'm still the same OG.